Hey there everyone, I'm back. I haven't streamed in a long while, but I'm trying to start again now. And I thought, what game should I start with other than Amelie? I'm only really only going this game because this is actually what motivated me to get back in streaming. But I've played a bit of it yesterday, like half an hour. I really enjoyed it. I think it'd be fun to stream it. It's like a visual novel game. I don't want to get too many details because it'll give away what little happens in the bit that I played, and I don't know what happens in the rest of it, but it looks very intriguing. Off the bat, I love the aesthetic of the loading screen. So usually the loading screen is not that interesting, but this one I like it. Like there's a whole. It sounds weird, but the moving cursor thing, but also just like how picturesque it is. I really enjoy it. So yeah, was me playing a bit of this. One of the gimmicks of the game, I guess, is I split it between three characters. Like there's only three characters in the game, and you play as them. But you go start with Amelie. Once you finish Amelie's bit, you can play as Sophia, and I assume once you finish Sophia, you can play as Lilica. I finished Amelie's bit yesterday, but I'm gonna replay hers again because it helps set up the story pretty well. I really enjoy it. Yeah, after that, play Sophia. I don't know if I'm just going to try and play the whole game today. I mean, I probably could. I probably will, because I have not much else going on tonight. But, yeah. I hope everyone watching it is having a good day as well. So, yeah, let's start off with Amelie. I'm going to do, I'll read out the lines. I'm not going to try doing fucking fancy voice acting or anything. I'm just read them out, just, I don't know, it helps. The rain never seems to cease at this time of year. It pours from the sky in its unending grief, as if longing for something unseen. Thunder roared in the distance, enough so to make the young woman flinch, but not enough to make her waver. The pendulum's clock on the wall swung back and forth, ticking down the time. She seems to be late. Perhaps she's not coming after all, Amelie. There is no need to make such a sullen face. Mayhaps this is for the best. She wrote that she would be here, so I shall wait. So yes, these are two of the three main characters. On the right is Amelie, and on the left is Lilica. Lilica is bad vibes. You'll see more later in the game as well, but I was gonna say she is bad vibes from what I've seen. Amelie's great though. We love Amelie. The young lady named Amelie sat upright on the lounge that rested by the entryway. Her back was straight and her head was level. Do you truly believe it's safe to have visitors during the outbreak? Lilica, I bet we have been isolated long enough, and Sophia has written that it is safe. I trust her word. She would not endanger us. And if your pen pal turns out to be a robber in disguise, what then? Amelie smiled. She has a way with words only a woman could have. A lady robber then. Nonsense. By the way, Lilica, have you seen my letters? I can't say that I have. A knock sounded at the door, instantly halting the conversation. Amelie rose from her place and took a steady step forward before Lilica raised a hand to her. Allow me. The door groaned as it slowly swung open and revealed the young woman who knocked at the door. She was drenched from head to toe. Amelie stood stock still, unsure of what to say, but that only lasted a moment before the woman at her door bounded forward and wrapped her arms around her. Amelie. Sophia. Yes, this is Sophia. I hate a hoodie. No. I imagine in real life it looked like a good hoodie, but I don't know why it's in the game I hate it. Something about it, it just does not look good to me. But if in real life I saw that at a shop or something, I would be intrigued. Especially like the pastel colours and stuff. I mean, I'm nowhere near a fashion expert, definitely not. Got my faithful Dr. Pepper with me while I do this. If I talk too much, my throat gets sore and stuff. She blinked before finally allowing her arms to wrap around Sophia's back. My, you're completely drenched. Did you forget your umbrella, perchance? Or perhaps her umbrella got carried away by the wind? Lilica pushed the door shut, sealing the building. I didn't even think to bring an umbrella. The forecast said sunny all day. My fault for believing it, I guess. I can't believe you're truly here. Me either. About time, right? You're just as pretty as I knew you'd be. And you too. But what are you wearing? Seeing your house, I feel like I should have dressed up a little bit more. No, perhaps it is I that is overdressed. So yeah, Amelie and Lilica go hard in the Victorian aesthetic. And you'll see why in a bit, I think. Like, it doesn't explicitly say it, but I got hints towards something in this. Lilica stood to the side, her arms crossed lightly over her chest. Her long hair reached down nearly to the wooden floor. Pardon my manners. My dear friend Lilica is here too. I believe I wrote about her in the past. Yeah, I said I was motivated to stream this because yesterday I was over Discord. I streamed to a friend of mine whilst I was playing it, and I said to her, I fucking hate Lilica's hair. That is way too fucking, like, you can go for long hair, but also I know it's just the fact that it's so wide as well. Like, it is unruly. It's powerful, and like, it's a power play. I respect it, but also hate it. Yeah, that's my very well thought out opinion on hair. I remember. I kept all of your letters safe. Don't worry. As you should. Sorry, but is there any chance you have a towel? Of course. My apologies. I would usually have someone here to attend to us, but everyone's been sent home. Only 3 of us remain. Let me fetch you a towel. Amelie knew not to run, yet Barbara felt the need to almost skip in joy. She wanted desperately to be back by Sophia's side, chatting about everything that they'd missed in their letters. Yeah, there's another thing I want to say, like, as well, but I'll continue. The backgrounds are lovely. Like, at first glance, they look like just photos, but also, like, they are actually, like, painted and stuff, or, like, they look like they're painted. It looks great. It's also, like, a little bit unsettling, but not super obvious, which I think really works well for the tone. And also gives, like, an otherworldly feel to the place. I mean, considering it is pretty much a Victorian mansion. Well, not Victorian, but old, let's say. The two had been pen pals for as long as she remembered. Sophia's letters had first been delivered to the manor by mistake, but for some reason Amelie had felt compelled to reply. Since then, the two had been the best of friends, even having not met face to face. To finally meet now in the flesh had suddenly been of great excitement to Amelie. Oh, didn't mean to click that. She quickly retrieved the towel and made her way back to Sophia's side. Lilica stood a distance away from her, still looking vaguely unhappy. Sophia spun around, a look of surprise on her face when she saw Amelie. Sophia! Oh, Amelie. Okay, I need to stop fucking clicking right mouse, because that's why it keeps going to that screen. Please, use this. Thanks. I'll bring an umbrella next time, I promise. Sophia lightly toweled at her hair and clothing, drying off from the rain she found herself caught in. Then, if you now dried off, would you care for a tour of the house before afternoon tea? That sounds great. On your right is the pantry, and down the hall is the boiler room, which you don't really need for those spaces. The two walked side by side, with Lilica trailing slightly behind. These are all guest bedrooms. I've prepared this one for your use. If you find anything not to your standards, you can let myself or Lilica know. Amelie, I have a feeling your standards are much higher than mine. I've never even been in a house like this before. No? Is your home not similar? Well, it's a lot smaller. There's no shame in that. You own your own property, yes? Yeah, I recently bought it. With your husband? What? No, of course not. I'm not married. Your father allowed you to buy property on your own? Haha, Amelie, you speak just how you write. I'm so surprised. Yeah, sometimes I can't fucking speak, so I'm really sorry if I end up tripping over my words at any point. I'll try to speak competently. And you speak quite casually. People usually say that about me. Being here around you makes me want to be more formal. One needs a formality between friends. That's true too. Ahem. This is the morning room, and next door the dining room. We'll be having afternoon tea in the sitting room, here. So many rooms. Upstairs is my bedroom and the master bedroom. I must ask that you don't enter the master bedroom, as it belongs to my parents, who are currently away. Of course, I won't go poking around anywhere. That's a little bit sus. I understand, it gets suspicious later on about the bedroom things that point out my friend, to their friends. I'll talk about that later, after we finish this first chapter, I guess. All this walking has made me parched. Shall we take afternoon tea now? Sure, that sounds good. Why don't you have a seat while Lilica and I prepare our food? Oh, I can come help. Nonsense. You are my guest. It'd be remiss of me to allow you to lift a finger. If you insist, but I'm happy to help anytime. Thank you. I'll be back soon. Please, rest. Amelie. Yes? It's nothing. Take your time. Lilica did fucking nothing during the entire thing. Lilica has bad vibes. Sophia slipped through a doorway and disappeared. Amelie smiled gently, feeling giddy from the bottom of her stomach. I think she's in lesbians with her. Possibly. Just guessing. Isn't this lovely, Lilica? To have a new face in the house. It feels like forever. Yes, how lovely. I'm glad you're having fun at the very least. Are you not? I'm always having fun when we're together, Amelie. Ah, I see. Are you jealous? Worry not, my dear friend. Of course our friendship means just as much to me. I value you greatly. Just as much? Indeed. Come along, Lilica. Let's prepare tea. Yep, she means just as much as the new girl who's just appeared. Yeah. Did you finish the baking yet? Yesterday. The pastries are ready for serving. Yeah, again, tripping over words. Jesus Christ, that was horrible of me. Excellent. I'll fetch the tea then. Allow me. A lady of your standing shouldn't be doing such a menial task, should she? Don't be absurd. Even Sophia herself seems to be fine in the kitchen. Did you hear how she jumped to help? I should follow in her footsteps. What would your parents think of that? I appreciate the sentiment, but they took with them all of the staff. I have little choice but prepare my own tea. I see. Then shall I attend to our guests? I wouldn't want her to become lonely. Would you? I'll only be a few moments. Of course. Anything for you, Amelie. It'll be good to have a chance for you to become friends too. I'm sure it will be. Ah yes, the cold friend has now just disappeared, has now just went away. And the parents have disappeared too. How not suspicious at all, yeah. Lilica left the kitchen with slow, deliberative steps. Amelie turned back to the kitchen. I wonder which you would prefer. Now, when I played it yesterday, I'm fairly confident that the decisions you make in this bit, like in the first chapter, don't matter. Like, they seem like meaningless decisions, and like also looks as though there's only one ending to the chapter, so they probably mean nothing. Last time I went for green tea, I'll go for oolong tea this time. Father poured this for Mother, but I'm sure she won't mind if I borrowed a little. There. Amelie retrieved her finest teapot and 3 matching cups. Pink flowers blossomed over the white surface. Something about it reminded her of Sophia. She is down bad, like, she really wants Sophia. I'm back. Ah, Sophia? Oh, Amelie. I'm sorry, you scared me. Is everything alright? Yeah, I think I'm just a little tired. Good. I'm sorry for the delay, but I prepared the tea and the pastries. So, this is what a high tea looks like. High tea will come later. This is a simple afternoon tea. Will Lilica be joining us? I believe so. Was she here a moment ago? No, she wasn't here. How strange. She told me she was coming to sit with you. Perhaps she's gotten herself busy with something else. Should we wait? There's no need. It'd be sad to let the tea go cold. Amelie poured tea into the 2 cups slowly, copying the movement she'd seen Lilica do time and time again. Did you have much trouble? Fuck's sake. Did you have much trouble getting here? A little. My ride broke down, so I had to walk for a bit. Broke down? I'm extremely sorry. If the staff had been here, I would have sent someone to collect you. It's okay. It's just a little rain. I just don't want you catching a fever. My medicine store's been running low of late. No worries. I usually carry ibuprofen with me. Ibuprofen? I haven't heard of it. So yeah. You'll see more of this in a little bit. Basically, there's a whole thing where a lot of modern stuff Amelie hasn't heard of. Like, she hasn't heard of ibuprofen. I won't go into the ones because I haven't paid yet. I feel as though it'll be a little bit spoilery, even though they come in like a couple of minutes. But like, that's something to keep in mind. Anyway, I'm glad you arrived here safely. I'll draw a bath for you later to make sure you are warmed up properly. Thank you. Amelie sipped at her tea, before looking down at it with a confused expression. A little stale. I'll ask my father to procure a new patch when he arrives home. Where are your parents, by the way? Well, we were separated by the plague. We took the staff to wait until a cure is found, and left me here with Lilica as to not catch the disease. Yeah, the plague is a bit of a weird way to refer to the pandemic. Right, I understand. I spent a lot of time separate from my family due to the pandemic too. Now, I should say, I don't think it's officially stated, but Sophia's referring to like COVID-19 because the game released in 2021. She's very much modern. I'm not gonna say which one I believe Amelie is referring to yet. It warms my heart to find another thing in common with you, Sophia. I was surprised to hear that I was safe enough for you to visit. Perhaps that means my parents will be back soon too. I think so. The world seems to be opening back up again. So what do you do? Locked up in this big house all the time? Well, I usually spend my time sewing or playing music. I used to write, but sorry, I'm like, because I'm living in a new place now. Part of the reason why I wasn't here for a while. I got like a new setup, and like there's a desk that came with the house, but it's not a very good desk to be honest. Not a desk, office chair, sorry. And there's usually a cushion I put behind my back to help it, but I lost it for a few seconds, but I found it now. Anyway, but one of my favourite parts of the body. Well, my parents wondered if it was feminine enough. I don't really think that matters. If you enjoy it, then I say you should do it. Sophia, then what about you? Well, I'm studying art university right now, so I guess that's what I spend most of my time on. You attend university? Yeah, although I'm thinking about dropping out. Sophia, you truly are filled with surprises. You own your own land and you attend school. How jealous I am. Yeah, I'll admit it's unrealistic to both own your own house and go to university. That's got too unrealistic in this housing market, I'm afraid. But yeah, this is. I'll talk about it now because what my personal theory is that Lilica and Amelie actually come from the time of the plague, like the Black Death or whatever it's called. And somehow they are now in the present. I can't speculate how, but somehow they are. And it just happens that lines up with COVID-19. At least that's my own personal theory, because you know the different values, even the just different ways of speaking, and like the weirdest thing is how the fact they both refer to the pandemic / plague in different ways. Because plague is very much an olden term. You don't really hear it much used when referring to COVID-19, but pandemic is the normal one. Why don't you do the same? Oh no, I'm not allowed. Of course you are. Anyone can attend, within reason. But, well, wanna get in the way of my marriage? You're engaged? Amelie shook her head. No, not yet. But I'm already 19. I'm sure my father's prepared my dowry. An arranged marriage? Yes, naturally. I don't think I'll ever get married. Really? Doesn't your family object? I don't think they really mind, as long as I'm happy. You don't have to either, you know. You give me much to think about, much indeed. Now, why has my game frozen? Oh shit, okay. It's fine now. Yeah. I really hope my computer could be able to handle a fucking visual novel game. Like, especially not one that's not exactly graphically demanding. Sorry about that little glitch there. Now I wonder where Lineker has disappeared to. Well, it's no matter. The evening is already coming, and tonight will be dark. Shall I draw you a bath? That sounds wonderful. To be honest, I'm not hungry, so can we skip dinner tonight? Of course. If that's what you wish, let me show you to the bathroom. Oh. You may not believe it, but my father had the taps installed. Isn't that wonderful? This is the biggest fucking, like, alarm though. Because she is amazed over the existence of taps in the bathroom. And that is very much an olden thing. Like that pretty big sign that she is from modern times. Like, taps for a bath? That's right. Right. We used to have our maids fill the bath, but now there's no need. Amelie, you're so strange. I have taps at my house too. Truly? You must live quite the lavish lifestyle yourself. I don't know about that. This is the bathroom, and let me draw the bath for you. One moment. These two are the definition of fucking dumb lesbians. Spoiler alert, they are both lesbians. But also, they're both dumb as shit. Like, they both ignore the very obvious signs of things not being normal and just don't say anything. And I'm amazed at the fact that they don't notice that either of them are not from the same time. With haste, Amelie entered the room and began to fill the copper bath. It sat in the middle of a spacious bathroom. It was something Amelie was particularly proud of. She smiled as it filled before joining her companion. Feel free to go inside and make yourself comfortable. I will return with a towel in a moment. Thanks, Amelie. She disappeared inside the room, leaving Amelie alone in the hall. I should like the sconces too. Where did I put those matches? Jump scare. Yes. It's like it sent me the first time. It's the fact that not only does she just appear out of nowhere and then zoom in, there's also like that little like heartbeat sound. Just like highlight the fact that Lineker has bad vibes. Like, she has no reason to be doing any of this. She could just like oh hey, how you doing? No, she chose to just appear out of nowhere to go right here. Ah! That's my best scream. I can't do it too loud because my neighbour will fucking complain. You gave me a fright, Lineker. Where have you been? Preparing the guest room for our dear friend, of course. For your dear friend. How kind. Sophia was just preparing for a bath at the present. I'm going to retrieve a towel for her from the linen closet. Amelie, I think it's best you send her home post haste. What? Why would I do that? For all you know, she brings with her the plague. Sophia says it is safe to travel. She believes father and mother will be returning soon. I believe it is perfectly safe. And what if she lies? She wouldn't do that. Sophia is a kind and good-natured person. She'll not bring any danger to us. Did you know that Sophia attends a local university and she lives by herself with no husband? She says that if I wanted, I could also study. The lady of the house should not study, Amelie. You must stay inside the house and await your parents. But I'm sure mother would want the best for me. Perhaps while I waited, I could go to inspect Sophia's school. Amelie, you must stay inside and await your parents' return. But don't you trust me? Have I ever tried to lead you astray? No, Lineker. I was thinking that perhaps it is truly is beginning to be safe. Look, I brought today's newspaper. Do you see the title? The plague runs rampant. Pretty notion of leaving our studio away for now, yes? As soon as it is truly safe to do so, then we shall. and you'll be reunited with your family. Let's have a quick drink because I thought it's getting a bit over. I don't know if I actually like Dr. Pepper or not. Like, that's what I'm drinking. I don't know if I like it. Hey! Hey, Uru Gamer Girl 505. That's an amazingly timed comment. Thank you for that amazing insight of gulp, sorry. Uru Gamer Girl is who I was streaming the game to yesterday. She's already seen this bit. I'm very sorry. I can agree Dr. Pepper is an abhorrent mess that should exist. It's not I don't know. It's weird, like, I know I shouldn't like it, and I sort of don't, but also I do like it enough that I'm just gonna keep drinking it. It's fucking weird. For now, it is just you and me. Thanks, Delica. I'm glad you're here. As am I. Ah, the towel. Let me go retrieve it. Go ahead. Lelica's bad fucking vibes. And the reason it should exist, so we can bully it and tell it's horrible. Right, don't go degrading Dr. Pepper. We don't know what Dr. Pepper's into. But also, don't be mean to Dr. Pepper, that's mean. The linen cupboard was filled with various towels and bedding, all clean and properly folded thanks to Lilica. Which would suit her. Ah yes, what an important decision. Last time I went for blue towel, let's go pink towel. This one, it reminds me of her eyes. Okay, that's actually sweet. She's a dumb fucking lesbian. I don't mean that as in like insulting lesbian, I mean like she is a particular brand of lesbian where she's dumb. With her chosen towel in hand, Amelie returned to the bathroom door where Lilica awaited her. She first knocked at the door, and then when there was no reply, she opened it carefully. The sound of the tap running still came from inside. Excuse me, I'm coming in. Sophia, I knocked, but didn't hear a reply. I brought you a towel. Ah! I'm really sorry about horrible screams. Amelie first saw a slender, marble-like back. Then she noticed the blue hair that fell on those bare shoulders. One side tucked carefully behind an ear. Oh! Sophia, please forgive me. I didn't realise you had already entered the bath. I'm trying not to make it sound like some sort of like shitty like erotica that's been written like 5 hours. I don't know, like 5 minutes or something. No, it's okay. I'm sorry you just surprised me. I'll leave the towel over here. Thanks. Fucking dumbasses. Did you tell her that she must depart? Lilica, shut up. Please. Oh, also, Uru Gaming Girl, I forgot to ask earlier. How is like the audio sounding okay? Like, is it like the music too loud or quiet? Is my voice okay? No. It's something that matter. It's all good. Brilliant. Thank you. What? Is something the matter? Are you feeling unwell? Your face is bright red. Dumbass lesbian. So Sophia, I'll stay until she decides to leave. As you wish. Oh, I've read that completely wrong, I just realised, but yeah. I'm sorry, Lilica, but the image of that small and beautiful bag filled up Amelie's mind. I believe it is only fair. After she's travelled so far, and she is my friend. Yes, that's the only reason. Yes, Amelie, that's definitely the only reason. I'll finish preparing the guest room. Can we come help, Sophia? When you're done in there, you can come to my room. From the other side of the door, Sophia's voice came in return. Okay, thanks, Amelie. The guest bedroom was freshly cleaned, with new linen on the bed and a lit lantern beside it. You did a fine job of preparing the room so far. Thank you, Lilica. Anything for you. I was thinking, tomorrow, if the rain is cleared up, we could open the greenhouse again and have morning tea there. It's been so long since we last used it. Didn't we already speak of this? You cannot leave the house. But surely the greenhouse would be safe. No one else uses it, and there's only a few steps from the back door. It is unsafe. You know this. What's gone into you? Is it because of your friend? I just thought it would be nice to at least stay in the sun. Lilica is not the best girl. Uru Gamer Girl. I will use my Twitch powers to arrest you from my stream. Because you are wrong. Lineker is nowhere near the best girl. It's time between Amelie and Sophia. And that's more, like, that's because, like, Lineker is so bad. I don't know, she's fucking horrible, okay? She's terrible. She's not a good girl. Best girl. She's not even near best girl. You may sit by the window in the dining hall. Is it really so unsafe that even taking a far outdoors would be dangerous? She's not adorable. She is evil. Look at those eyes. She is evil. She's a menace to society. Yes. See, she agrees. She agrees. Lineker said yes, she agrees that she's a menace to society. Sophia, I've seen you done with the bath. Amelie shook her head, trying to remove the image that was still plastered to it. Were you talking about the greenhouse? Yes. Did you see it when you arrived? I did, but it looked as if the plants inside had died. Oh, that's impossible. It's barely been any time at all since the gardeners left. I'm sure the plants inside are more sturdy than that. Well, even if they have died, maybe we could go in and replant some things tomorrow. How wonderful. Have you not heard a word I said? It's unsafe to do so. Oh, don't be such a spoil sport. I think it'll be perfectly fine. Well, it's getting late now, so I'll leave you to retire. If you need anything, my room is just upstairs on the left. Good night, Sophia. Lineker left first. The door, which was still hanging slightly open, shifted as she went. Amelie, would you stay for a while? Is something the matter? Just a little homesick. Sophia sunk into the bed, sighing as her head hit the pillow. Of course. Why don't we chat for a while? Then come join me. Sophia gently petted the spot beside her on the bed. In the bed? Ah, okay. The bed was still rather firm, unused by many guests. Amelie took a deep breath to calm her racing heart before she finally looked towards Sophia. Oh, yes, oh, whoa. Time for the dumb lesbians to be dumb lesbians still. Thanks for staying with me for a while. It's nothing to worry about, truly. I wanted to spend more time with you too. Really? You don't find me boring? You're the most interesting person I've ever met. Don't be silly. I am being completely honest. You truly are so unique. I think the same about you. I've never met anyone like you, really. You know so much about yourself, and yet seeing you in person, I fear there's still so much I don't know. There's plenty of time for us to tell each other everything. And tell me something about yourself, something you'd never tell anyone. I'm partially blind to my right eye. Really? How well can you see? It's okay. I'm just a little blurry, really. You tell me something. Well, when I was 12, I stole the cookie jar from the kitchen and blamed my brother. He was scolded for hours. What a mischievous little child. I'm sure your brother wasn't all too pleased. Actually, it was his idea. He knew I wanted it, and told me to tell my parents it was him if I was asked. What a good brother. Where is he now? Did he go away with your parents? Amelie shook her head. He died when he was 16. Oh, I'm so sorry, Amelie. What happened? Scarlet fever. So my family was left with only me as a heir. Dead bro MVP. Right. I'm guessing the dead bro got off lucky. Cause I believe the parents. Yeah, I forgot to mention this earlier. But I was gonna come. I know I said come back, so I'm gonna come back to it now before I continue with the dumb lesbians. In fact, no, I'm gonna do it at the end. I'm gonna, like, as part of the chapter roundup. I'm gonna go with that. Fuck yeah, that's a good idea. I know what worth is a female hair. You're worth plenty, more than plenty. Thank you, Sophia. But some days I'm unsure. It's your turn again. Truthfully, I said before I didn't want to get married, but that's not exactly right. I do. Oh? I just don't want a husband. I'm sorry. Does it make you uncomfortable? No. I have also thought that I don't want a husband. Whenever my father has brought it up, I felt sick to my stomach. How about coming away with me for a while? Away? Outside of the house? What about the sickness? It's okay now. You'll be okay. You could come stay at my house. I can show you around my school. You don't have to go through an arranged marriage if you don't want to. You do that for me? You're my dearest friend, and I actually... Lilica! Fuck off! Lilica? At some point the two women had gone close enough together that they could feel each other's breaths on their lips. The two parted with reddened cheeks, Amelie quickly brushing her skirt off and standing up. I should be going to bed. Please rest well. We can talk more about it in the morning, right? Right. Good night, Amelie. See you in the morning. I'll see you tomorrow. Sad Lilica now. Lilica deserves to be sad, okay? Lilica is not doing a good job here. Like, I just don't like Lilica. Also, I forgot to ask. Oh yeah, when you put something in the chat, Uru, does it come up on screen as well, like in the game screen, like on the side? It should. Dr. Pepper is 10 times fucking better than Lilica in every way possible. Dr. Pepper is a better... God damn, I can't believe I'm saying this. Dr. Pepper is best girl compared to Lilica. Okay? And thank you, that's good. It's on the bottom left, thank you. Right, good night, Amelie. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna stand by that fucking statement as well. Lilica? It is late. You should retire to your bedroom. Okay, Dr. Pepper is nowhere near worst cook, okay? I am not gonna stand the slander, okay? I'm gonna ignore any more Dr. Pepper related comments you make for, like, I don't know, a few days. Yes, I shall. It's nice having someone else around, isn't it? I feel as if the manor is coming back to life. I like it, but I know I shouldn't, okay? I do like it. I realise I'm just broken that promise. I shall say as well to anyone watching this live now or in the future as a recording, I'm not this hostile to my entire audience. I just know Uwu in real life. Hence why I'm this hostile with her. She deserves it for these horrible opinions she has. I hope we see mother and father soon. I'm sure we will. Shall I see you to bed? Yes, please. The hall was darkened, with only a few sconces and candles lit along the way. Usually that would fill Amelie with a sense of comfort. But right now the flickering flame seemed to make her distressed. Whether that was because of the way her mind was racing, or the way her heart was beating, she didn't know. As she rose up the grand staircase, her eyes lingered on the large stained glass window. The moon shone through the coloured glass, leaving a rainbow of colours over the steps. The truth hurts, Matessi. The sooner you accept Dr. Pepper is bad, the better. I will never accept it because it is a lie. That is false. That is fake news. That is more adjectives I can't think of. Dr. Pepper is at the very least half decent. It's better than, I don't know, Coke Zero, I guess, I think. I'm not Coke Zero in nature, but I'm just going to go with that. It caught her attention for only a moment before she retreated to her bedroom. I forgot what caught her attention, goddammit. Lilica, may I ask you a question? Certainly. Have you heard of a woman loving another woman as a woman would love a man? Where'd you hear about such a thing? Nowhere in particular. It was just a thought that came into my mind. I think you're overtired because of all the excitement, Amelie. I think it's best you get some rest. Fucking homophobe! Yes, alright. Good night, Lilica. Good night, Amelie. And I'm sure nothing bad happens in the night. Good morning, Lilica. I was just on my way to see if Sophia has awakened yet. Don't say goodnight to Lilica, god damn it. Amelie. Sophia disappeared during the night. I believe she went to the same place your parents went. What? That cannot be right. Don't run, Amelie. Amelie dashed down the hall and knocked quickly on the door to the guest bedroom, which fell open with no resistance. Inside, the bedding was dishevelled, and her luggage was strewn about. This is not true. She wouldn't just leave without saying goodbye. Dearie me, I'm sorry I told you it was a bad idea for anyone to visit, didn't I? Oh, Lillica, this isn't fair. I thought she said she would. There, come here. Lillica wrapped her thin arms around the young woman, gently patting her on the back. I like the art, this bit, definitely. See? You shouldn't depend on anyone else. I'm here. I won't ever leave you. Amelie clutched at her back, tears already falling from her eyes. We'll be together forever. And that is chapter 1, Amelie. Oh, so yes. So, I'm going to quickly now before we go on to Sophia. Her parents have to be fucking dead. Like, even if they decided naturally they'd be long dead by now. But no, I think that Lillica fucking murdered them and left them in the master bedroom. Like, that gives, like, not only for the fact that master bedroom is... Lillica was loyal instead. Lillica is bad vibes. Lillica is probably a murderer. Or at the very least, she is holding Amelie hostage. I will not accept that Lillica is good. If she somehow becomes a good guy at the end of this, I will not be happy. I will. She really can't speak. She sure slays, if that's what you mean. God damn it. She fucking murders. She murders. The rain. Yeah, we're gonna go and do Sophia now. I don't know if it's the case where it's like each chapter covers the same bit of time from a different character's perspective. I don't know if that's how it works or not, but I'll have to wait and see, really. The rain never seems to cease at this time of year. It pours from the skies in unending grief, as if longing for something unseen. Thunder roared in the distance, enough so to make the young woman flinch, but not enough to make her waver. The taxi gently rocked as the road turned to rubble, and the rubble turned to overgrown dirt track. Outside the window, Sophia could barely see a few feet away through the raging storm. It made her feel uneasy. In her lap, a letter. She read the words again, despite knowing them off by heart. Dear Sophia, how glad I am to hear that you are well. I am healthy, although I believe I may have a problem of the heart. It has gone quite lonely waiting here for my parents to return. I am thankful to have Lillica residing with me, but I still await the day when my family will be reunited. But you say that it is safe enough for you to visit? Truly? I have never even dared to dream of being able to see you in the flesh. If it is true, then I will await you at the address written on the back of this letter. Yours, Amelie. You sure you have the right address here? We're in the middle of nowhere. Sophia stared at the fragile handwritten address that Amelie had left her, had trusted to her. Yes, this is the right way. I'm sure of it. Her heart wouldn't settle. Meeting what could be a stranger in the middle of nowhere on a day like this? Who wouldn't be nervous? Yet there was something else. Eagerness. A thrill. Something beyond mere nerves that turned into excitement. She could barely imagine the hand that had penned the letters she had been receiving for years on end, let alone a face. But for some reason her heart still beat hard when reading the words that the mysterious young lady young lady of 19 from a manor far in the middle of nowhere wrote to her. I'm just going to have a quick drink. My throats. Wrote to her. Desperate to calm her jitters, she pulled out her phone, looking to send her worried family one last message of reassurance, only to find out that it wouldn't switch on. I'm sure it was fully charged. The rain was falling even more heavily now. In the distance, a building sprang into view. It was surrounded by a tall metal fence, with an ornate gate firmly shut at the front. Just then the taxi sputtered and rolled to a stop, smoke rising from the hood. What the? I had the service a week ago. Is something wrong? Sorry, miss. Looks like we're out of action. It's okay, I think we're nearly there anyway. Pulling the cash from the wallet, she handed her over her fare and stepped out of the car. Okay, she got a taxi there, okay, yeah. I thought something was wrong, like I thought something wasn't matching up with the first chapter, but it makes sense now. They make her pay when their taxi breaks down. Right. I get what you mean. But considering the fact that, I'm guessing, at very least, she drove outside of town, so that's at least a bit of distance. I think it's fair enough that she still has to pay. Because the fact that they're nearly there anyway, so it doesn't make much of a difference. The rain bucketed down from above, soaking her to the very car. She shivered as she dashed towards the iron gate. Surprisingly, it pushed open with little effort, not even a creak. At least give her a discount. I'm guessing the discount, the fact that they're only paying for the fare up until that point. So I know taxis do the thing where you pay, you see the amount go up as you go further, if that makes sense. Sophia stopped in front of the large wooden door, finally free from the seemingly never-ending downpour. From afar, that door had seemed inviting enough, but now looked awfully large and imposing. And yet she had raised her fist and knocked anyway. Silence followed. Is this not even the right place after all? The door swung open, this time with a low, menacing groan. On the inside of the door was a fair girl with long brown hair and golden eyes. Sophia, forgetting the fact that she was soaking wet, rushed forward and embraced the girl. Amelie! Sophia! Amelie's gentle arms wrapped around Sophia's back in return, and finally all of Sophia's worries melted away. My! Did you forget you're completely drenched? Did you forget your umbrella perchance? Or perhaps the umbrella got carried away by the wind? Behind Sophia, the front door swung shut without any assistance. I didn't think to bring an umbrella. The forecast said sunny all day. My fault for bleeding, I guess. Wait. Why the fuck is Lilica? I know I hate Lilica, but Lilica said those lines and she's the one who shut the door, so where the fuck is Lilica? I can't believe you're truly here. Me either. About time, right? You're just about as pretty as I knew you'd be. And you too. But what are you wearing? Seeing your house, I feel like I should have dressed up a little more. No, perhaps the designer is overdressed. Sophia smiled. Somehow her dress sense seemed to fit her writing style perfectly. Old-fashioned and yet very neat and respectable. Sophia felt a slight heat rising to her cheeks. She really was so refined and elegant. Pardon my manners. My dear friend Lilica is here too. I believe I wrote about her in the past. Okay, here's Lilica. Remember, I've kept all of your letters safe. Don't worry. As you should. Don't worry. Was I chance you have a towel? Of course, my apologies. At least you have someone here to attend to us. But everyone's been sent home. Only 3 of us remain. Let me fetch you a towel. Okay, so one thing I'm gonna do, because my throat is getting a bit fucking sore because I'm just constantly talking, I guess. Have a drink. If it's dialogue's already been said last time, I might just skip it. I won't skip the whole section, but I just won't say it, if that makes sense. Just because I'm going over the same ground and my throat is already starting to keep that throat moist. And I am with Dr. Pepper, my wonderful sponsor for today's stream. They don't sponsor me. Yes, I think that's acceptable. Thank you, Uwu Gamer Girl. Are you okay me calling you Uwu Gamer Girl? Should I call you your actual name? I'll continue. Amelie withdrew. Uwu Elise. Okay, I'll call you Elise because I feel fucking weird going, hello there, Uwu Gamer Girl. I'll probably just switch between Uwu and Elise. Yeah. Amelie withdrew from the hug. She was a little taller than Sophia, despite both being the same age. Sophia peered up at her from below before she disappeared down a hallway and into another room. This really is a manor. When she told me about her house, I almost didn't believe it. A layer of dust rested against the tabletop, along with a few other items. On the settee, a newspaper sat open. We're gonna look at the newspaper because this could be proof. The settee was a deep emerald green. It looked almost unused, despite its apparent age. On it rested a newspaper, open in a few pages. Sophia turned her head to read the headline, but from far she only read the word plague. She reached across to pick up the newspaper. Behind Sophia, the window began to shake in the wind as her fingertips grazed the surface. It's so windy. She spun around, just in time to see the front door fly open, and the howling wind filled the entryway. She scrambled to the door, and with great effort, shut it again. Phew. Amelie? When Sophia spun back around, the newspaper and the items on the table were all gone. Sophia? Again with the fucking jumps. Like, no, it's not a jump scare. It's not scary, but it's just like the heartbeat and the like zooming on a character. Like, it's lit. I know it's not scary, but I enjoy because it's just like, aha, character appears. And so yeah, I'm guessing that's Lilica that fucking moved that stuff. I don't know why the fuck she hasn't talked. Yeah, or like she hasn't appeared. Oh, Amelie, please use this. Okay, yeah, it's just died from last time, so I'm gonna skip that. Sophia took the towel in her hand. They were soft but somewhat old. She slightly dried her hair and clothes, but still found herself cold. But yeah, I enjoy this game. Boo. How scary. I am so scared, Elise. How much you scare me. Oh no. Two walked side by side, alone in such a big manner. Okay. Oh my god! I get it. I fucking get it now. I thought like something was, I don't know, it's like some sort of stupid thing where Lilica isn't appearing for no reason. I know, I get it. Like, I think Lilica is either a figment of Amelie's imagination or something more psychological, if that makes sense. Basically, she doesn't exist in a way that Sophia can see her. Maybe she's like some sort of ghost or something, but only Amelie can see her and does talk to her. These are all guest bedrooms. I've prepared this one for your use. If you find anything not to your standards, you can let yourself or Lilica know. But yeah, this makes a lot of fucking sense now. So now I thought about the two of them never actually talked. Like Lilica and Sophia, which makes sense now, the fact that we know that she can't see her. Oh shit. Oh yeah. Yes, I'm connecting the fucking dots, Uwu. I might not call you Uwu just because that makes me sound so like a fucking cat girl out of context. Yada yada yada. That's half the fun of it. I won't be doing anything to do with cat girls until I get a camera. I might get like, do you know those attachable cat ears? I might get like some of those, put my headphones. And beyond that, I'm not fucking doing anything. I'm not becoming a cat girl. Like, I respect cat girls, but I don't have the energy or the willingness to be one. God damn it. From the landing below, Sophia could see the door to the master bedroom. For some reason, her eyes were glued to it. Okay. Okay. Come inside. Come open the door. We're waiting for you. Okay. This game keeps managing to throw like curveballs to me. Even though I think yeah. Sophia shook her head, and time seemed to resume around her. Defy fit. Okay, what the fuck is happening here? Amelie? Yeah, this... Okay, I don't know how to react to the weird stuff happening. The room was spacious and dead silent apart from Sophia's footsteps as she crossed the wooden floor. Each step was deliberate and slow as her eyes searched through the room. Nothing in particular stood out. Large windows showed a glimpse of the outside world through thick curtains. The rain was still coming down hard, obscuring her view. The windows shook every now and then, but the wind had seemed to die down a little. Behind her, a chair at the dining table had been pulled out, as if we were waiting for her to sit down. Amelie, was that you? No! Sophia! No! Please don't be that dumb. If you didn't fucking see her in the room, how could she do the goddamn chair? Amelie? Yeah, I said, I think Lilica's... Lilica, she's a fucking ghost, I think. Because I know, like, there's a thing at the beginning when she came in and the door shut. It said the door shut, like, by itself. Like, basically that. And I'm saying, well, no, I remember Lilica fucking closed it. I remember that explicitly. Lilica was the one that closed it. And then it's like the whole thing where, like, Lilica just never has appeared so far in this chapter, even though she has always been there, pretty much. And there's a whole thing where, like, the items on the, like, settee and the table disappeared suddenly. And the chair being pulled out. It's all sus. A hand rested against her chest, begging her heart to calm. Oh, Lilica? Whether a hollow laugh sounded through the room or not, she wasn't sure. She quietly sat down in the seat that was left for her. The table was already set, but once again she noticed a thin layer of dust on the surface. Through the silence, Sophia could hear it again. Footsteps. But this time from directly above. The master bedroom. Okay! This took like a quick turn from like the first chapter. Of just like spooky vibes, but there's just most about dumbass lesbians. Now there's ghosts added in. Brilliant. In front of her very eyes, Sophia watched the scene unfold. A woman, not older than 40, removed her shoes and stepped onto the table, yet nothing was disturbed. She reached up and took hold of the noose. The rope was wrapped around her neck, like the finest pearl necklace. Join me. The woman's eyes locked into Sophia's. Her hand was outstretched, waiting to be taken. A rusty smell filled her ears, accented with the faint smell of perfume. Sophia shivered in response, her breath frosty on her lips. She reached out for the hand, slowly. I'm back. Ah! That's why she done the scream, okay. Oh, it's also, yes, Elise, oh no. What a great way of putting the terror of the situation. Defy your fate. I'm just going to skip over the dialogue as well. Sophia stared at the spot the woman was only a moment ago. Both she and the noose had disappeared. I did press it. I don't know if that did anything. Oh my god! Yes, you can press it because it's changed dialogue. Because that something is the matter, isn't it? Did something happen within this room? Happen? What do you mean exactly? Okay, shut the fuck up, Elise. Okay, I don't know. Oh my god, did a woman with brown hair tied into a bun with dark green dress ever live here? Well, something you described my mother. Your mother? Yeah, she's just described. We couldn't have seen her here. She's still aware. Right. Let me pour some tea before it gets cold. Will Lilica be joining us? I believe so. Was she here a moment ago? Ah, now this is normal dialogue. Okay. Sophia watched as the tea filled 2 of 3 cups. The third cup sat empty. For some reason, the very sight filled her with dread. She picked up the cup and brought it to her lips. It was oolong tea. Okay, that's the one I picked last time, so I'm guessing I just stick to the one from last time. Okay. The tips was bitter and musty. With her heart on edge, she placed the cup back down in her saucer, smiling towards Amelie. Do you have much trouble getting here? A little. My ride broke down, so I had to walk for a bit. Broke down? Oh yeah, so it's just normal dialogue now. So yeah, Again, this is going a bit weird. Amelie sipped at her tea before looking down at it with a confused expression. Yeah, and stuff about the tea. So yeah, I think there's just normal dialogue for now, like nothing important and things that happen. Probably something in the bathroom. That's when the next thing happens, I think, probably. Now it's just them doing fucking flirting. Well, it's not even flirting, but you get what I mean. Oh. So yeah, I'm liking this game. Like, it's better than I thought it'd be when I bought it. I just got just seen someone say, I saw like it was set with LGBT and it's a visual novel, but also a bit horror. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll try it out. Why not? It was cheap. I don't want to skip all the way to. I think it skips all the way to the next decision. I don't want that at all. Before she left the room, Sophia took. It's a good story so far. I like the mystery. Thank you, Elise. Thank you. It is. Sophia took one last look back at where that news once hung. Yeah, I think it's a good give me come back from my first dream back. Alone in the hallway, Sophia peered up at the grand staircase, past a large stained glass window and at that dark door, shut tight. A moment later, Amelie popped back out of the bathroom. Feel free to go inside and make yourself comfortable. I will return with a towel in a moment. Thanks, Amelie. See, okay, what spooky shit happens in the bathroom then? Water spewed from the rusted pipes in the steel-lined wooden bathtub. Everything else was silent. Sophia took careful steps forward and peered into the bath. All seemed normal. With a sigh, she finally let her shoulders relax. Yet in her mind, all she could see was that woman, with her outstretched hand, reaching towards her. She clutched her hand to her chest. It still shook. Sophia stumbled forward until her hands rested on either side of the washroom basin. Her fingers held on tight until her knuckles were bone white. It's okay, Sophia. You're just tired. Her eyes travelled up to the mirror. It was embellished with a gold frame. She stared at her reflection. She was still herself. It was all a figment of her imagination. That's when she saw it. In the mirror, standing behind her, was a young woman with long blonde hair that nearly reached to the floor, and deep, blood-red eyes. She didn't try to speak or make any movement. She just stared at her with big, dark eyes. It is Lilica. I'm fucking hating her. Who? Sophia wanted to spin around, to confront the girl, but her whole body was frozen stiff. The young woman finally started to move, one step at a time, maintaining eye contact through the mirror. She crept closer, and closer, and closer, until Sophia swore she could feel her breath in the back of her neck. Her mouth seemed to be moving, but no words escaped her lips. Who are you? She spun around, but no one was there. The water overflowed from the tub, spilling out over the floor. Sophia rushed forward to turn the tap off and noticed it. What the fuck? Okay. Oh, okay. Spooky vibes going on. We love it. The water that came from the tap was red. A dark, deep red. Could it be blood? I think it could be blood. It is almost definitely blood. She hurriedly turned the tap off what felt like forever, and finally it stopped. Sophia stared at the dark liquid inside the tub. It's cherried. You know what? Yes, let's say it's cherried. It turns out that Lilica is a big fan of cherried, and she's really embarrassed, so she just been hiding herself and Amelie away all these years. That's why. Yes. In house there's so many bubbles. I didn't think of that actually. I've never known blood to be bubbly. Then I don't really know much about blood, so you know. Without thought, her hand dipped in. When she withdrew it, each finger was dyed red. Something about it captivated Sophia. She undressed one layer at a time, peeling away the still damp clothing and stepping forward into the bathtub. Don't go into the cherry-eyed bathtub, please. Please, no. She sank down until everything under her shoulder was submerged in the liquid. It felt heavier than water, much heavier. As she stared directly ahead, those blood-red eyes reflected in her mind. Why not just end it here? You're scared, aren't you? Just sink down. Accept your fate. Accept it. She could no longer hear the sound of the door opening as her face sunk down into the liquid, her eyes shut. Sophia, I announced, but I didn't hear her reply. I brought you a towel. Ah! Sophia's eyes sprung open. The water was clear and the tap was still running, causing it to overflow into the floor once again. Sophia drew her knees to her chest, still facing away from Amelie's voice. Heat rose to her cheeks. Being seen like this, by her? Sorry, Sophia. Please forgive me. I didn't realize you already entered the bathtub. No, it's okay. I'm sorry, you just surprised me. I'll leave the towel over here. Thanks. The door shut again. Sophia finally turned back to look at where Amelie once stood. No one was there anymore. Not Amelie, not a woman in a long green dress, or a young lady with blonde hair. She sighed. What's going on? She sank into the water, although this time fully conscious of what she was doing. Not feeling all that much better, she stepped out and took hold of the towel that Amelie had left for her. Water fell from her body as she stared at the cloth. The towel was pink, similar to her favourite hoodie. The towel was old and full of holes and what seemed to be burn marks. Oh. Reluctantly, she wrapped it around her body. From outside the door, Amelie's voice called out to her. Let me come help, Sophia. When you're done in there, you can come to your room. Okay, thanks, Amelie. Who's she helping? Lilica? Yeah, it's fucking weird. Like, it seems even odder now, like, out of the context is actually seeing Lilica. She shivered. The room had become awfully cold, and the towel did little to bring her warmth. She picked up her discarded clothes and redressed. Her clothes felt foreign and wrong on her. Sophia took a deep breath, then swallowed hard. I'm okay. The hall was already darkened, with no light spilling in from the windows. A few sconces attached to the walls were lit with light flames, but offered little in the way of calming her. Step, step, step. The floor creaked under her weight. She stopped outside of her bedroom. Inside she could hear talking. She put her ear to the door. Oh, okay. Yeah, something I've noticed earlier in the chapter. Like, basically, the one time we heard Lilica speak, it was through Amelie, if that makes sense. Like, I said Amelie like it does now, but we know from the first chapter that it should be Lilica saying that. And there's something else that Lilica said as well. Yeah, like, it's all Amelie, so I don't know, like, I don't think it's a figment of her imagination. It could be a case of the ghost speaking through her, to her, if that makes sense. If it's a ghost. She's not crazy. Like, there is some fucking spooky, paranormal shit going on. Sophia opened the door and entered the room. Oh, I had a burp there. Amelie stood by herself, making the bed. Sophia, I see you're done with the bath. Sophia looked away, thinking of what happened in that bathroom. Talking about the yada yada yada. Yeah, she's fucking talking to herself. It is a bit odd. The door shifted before Amelie could even reach to touch it. Sophia's eyes locked in on the movement. Amelie, would you stay for a while? Sophia sat down on the bed before resting her head on the pillow. It was hard. Sophia gently pet the spot beside her in the bed. Sophia looked towards Amelie in the low light. Right now she seemed hauntingly beautiful, as if she were nothing more than a ghost. I wonder if there's any other ghosts around. Hint, hint. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, but it's just sort of weird. I'm like, not exactly weird, but like, it's weird in a good way, if that makes sense. Her mind flashed back to all that she had seen. Really? She truly had never met anyone like Amelie. I would speak it all out, but my throat has been used to talking this much for a while, and like, and sort of tell sound like clog up and stuff. Tell me something, she thought. Tell me what's going on here. Tell me I'm not insane. Oh, thanks, Elise. If I get anyone else coming to like chat and like sort of saying, "Oh, I don't know what's happening," I'll read it all out for them, of course. But Amelie shook her head. Damn, dead brother, kinda cringe. So okay, I find this brilliant. Like, she's in this what is presumably a haunted house with a possibly insane woman, and she went, "You know what? Let's come out as a lesbian." Honestly, I would do the same. Yes, away from this place. Oh, okay. Now, because I was thinking like before, I was a little bit forward of her just ask, "Oh, you trying to move away with me?" So that's a little bit like I get what's happening, but like that is a little bit weird, like forward. But I guess, but now it makes sense now with the added context of the fact that she's seen some weird shit going on. Lilica, okay. So we press the fire fit. The G in LGBT TB clearly stands for ghosts. I love me an LGTB. That's a fucking dumbass one. But yeah, ghosts. Yeah, the gay ghosts. Be gay, be ghosts. Yeah, that's it. Yes, you are bad at spelling, Elise. Lilica? At some point the two of them are close enough together that they can feel each other's breath on their lips. The two parted with reddened cheeks, Amelie quickly brushing her skirt off and standing up. I should be going to bed. Please, rest well. We can talk about it in the morning, right? Right. Good night, Amelie. I'll see you tomorrow. Amelie, wait a moment. Yes? What does Lilica look like? What a funny question. You've seen her plenty of times already. With my eye, I sometimes struggle a little. Right. My apologies. She has long blonde hair, done up like this. Amelie pretended to put her hair into two low ponytails. What colour are her eyes? Red. And she wears a dress of white and black with a red ribbon of the same colour as her eyes. Thank you, Amelie. Good night. See you in the morning. Amelie left the room. Meanwhile, Sophia's eyes studied the space. I don't want to accept my fate. What the fuck? Fuck you, game. Can I not accept my fate? For some reason, Sophia just couldn't sit still. She tried to lay down to rest, but turned this way and that. Uneasy. I'll get some water. The hallway was dark, with most of the sconces having been blown out already. I think I might have done something wrong. Like, I get what you mean at the second chapter, but I think it's case, like, do you know the first Defy Your Fate thing? I didn't click it. I think I clicked all three, then I'll be able to, there'll be a second option there. Because like, there's another visual novel, something somewhat similar, where you need to do other things first, and then get the extra option which leads to another ending. It could have been that, to be honest with you. But I'm back now, so... Hi. Oh, thank you, Elise, thank you. The hall was dark, with most of the sconces having been blown out already. Sophia stepped carefully through the space, conscious of the sound her footsteps were created. The kitchen was by the stairwell. Hand-painted portraits were lined up in rows on either side of the hall. She set up the grand staircase. Each step was inviting, enticing her to make the ascent. Her large eyes stared once again at the imposing stained glass window, and then to the door that awaited upstairs. A hand rested against the kitchen door, her fingers dancing over the handle. It stayed there as her mind debated with itself. Waiting. Waiting. Oh, they got like fucking jiggly letters there. I like that. Come here. Come visit us. A hand dropped to her side as she ascended, past the glass window and to the next floor. 2 doors awaited her. A chill ran through the air as a scene played out before her. 2 women dragged a man's body up the staircase, leaving a trail of blood on the otherwise pristine carpet. Okay, wait, 2 women? Because I know the man's probably the dad. But 2 women, that's us, because the way I see it, there's 3 combinations here. One is the dark horse, and it's like Amelie and her mum. I don't think it's that one, but I guess it's a possible one. Another one, which is as it more towards unlikely, is Lilica and the mum. And that's looking most likely, I think, just from what I know. It could be Amelie and Lilica. You know, and that's bad, because, you know, Amelie, I don't want her to be a fucking murderer. They pushed open one of the doors. The man's head hit the final step, but he made no move to stop them, nor cried out in pain. He was already long dead. The figures disappeared into the room. When Sophia blinked, the door was shut again. She trembled. Their master bedroom. From behind that closed door, a voice called out to her, but the words were much too faint to make out. A hand rested against the handle. Sophia couldn't stop it from shaking. With a careful motion, she pushed the door open. A musty smell came from further inside the dark room. Sophia, peering into the darkness, quickly took hold of one of the lit candles near the room and stepped inside. A portrait sat above a large canopied bed. The curtains were pulled back, hiding whatever was inside. In the portrait, Amelie sat beside a woman with a green dress and brown hair, done up into a bun. Standing behind them was a man with an imposing brow and a large beard. You shouldn't be in here. A family of mice ran from under the bed and out of the room. Sophia jumped to the side, narrowly avoiding them. Step, step, step. Each step brought her closer to that bed. Each step made her chest feel heavier, tighter. She stood before the bed and reached a trembling hand to the curtains that hid whatever lay inside. A wind blew from somewhere unseen, and her candle extinguished. Behind her, the door shut and the room plunged into near complete darkness. Amelie? Is that you? I'm sorry I came in here after you asked me not to. I'll just go back now, okay? Her body fell forward before she had a moment to react. She tumbled through the curtains and landed on something hard that rested on the bed. What? The curtains flew open and the moon shone in from outside. Okay. I thought they were going to smell like that, but okay. Ah! Ah! I can't do a good scream, I'm really sorry. The body she was expecting to find was absent. In its place, 2 skeletons, long ago decayed. They lay side by side, one smaller and the other larger. But now, one was either side of her. Her scream pierced through the air, but no one came running. She tried desperately to squirm, to run, but it felt as if something was staying on her, holding her down. As she struggled, she saw it. 2 dark red eyes, hanging above her, watching. You won't take her away from me. Okay, so that's one of the 2 endings to chapter 2, I suppose. Wow. So yeah, I'm guessing what happened was basically I didn't click the button enough times. So when I had the one chance of like making a decision, of making an explicit decision, I mean, I was locked into one option, and that is the bad ending. Let's say. I like that. That's fucking good. On the 2 endings. Yeah, there's another ending. I think I'm gonna replay the chapter now, so I'll quickly skip through and see what the other ending is. Cause I should be able to skip now. What the fuck? Okay, fine. Okay, one time my computer's there. It's fine now. My computer's playing a bit there for some reason. Skip. We'll look at the tabletop this time. Sophia ran her fingers over the tabletop. The wood was carved with an intricate pattern that rounded around the edge of the surface. A hand reached across to pick up a book that laid face down. Behind Sophia. Oh wait. So I think to me at least it looks a bit more like darkened. I guess like a bit more grey the words. But I think those are the ones which you've already seen already. I like that little design decision. Defy my fate. Okay, sweet. Yeah, I really like that because I know other visual novels I've like played. They don't distinguish between the two, and like I get why. It's a little deal that doesn't really matter, but it helps for those who are like sort of running through trying to get different endings, I guess. Actually, is it okay if I ask you something? Of course it is. Is there someone else in the house with us? There's no one else apart from myself, you and Lilica. And Lilica is... Oh, she's gone to the kitchen. Didn't you see her enter? Right. My vision must be playing up. Is something the matter? No, it's fine. I'll wait for you inside. Okay. So we know that is fucking... Okay, yeah. Okay, so we know the facts now, pretty much, I think. Or at least the facts we can know at this point. Defy your fate. So, I think one second, we wait. Okay, so we can just skip now, wait for the next one to come up. We got all the blood, you know, the normal things going on. Let's defy our fate again. Fuck yeah, it went well last time, didn't it? Okay. So now we can defy our fate. I fucking knew, because like they had too much space there to just be one option. So let's defy our fate. Booyah! You know, independence and all that. Are you here, Lilica? Silence followed. If I stay here, will I live to see tomorrow? More silence. She gulped. The flame by the side of her bed flickered wildly. Sophia laid back, shutting her eyes, but she felt as if someone was watching her, waiting and biding their time. Cold tendrils wrapped around her throat like a snake, cool like ice and getting tighter and tighter. She couldn't breathe, she couldn't even move. She opened her eyes, but no one was there. Sophia wasted no more time. She jumped to her feet and quickly shoved them back into her shoes and headed for the door. It opened without any resistance. Outside the room, the hall was dark, lit only by a handful of candles and sconces. Sophia swallowed, then stepped out. So I guess at this point we're now trying to just fucking escape. The house was silent. Sophia took careful steps, but the floorboards still squeaked loudly beneath her. During the day she hadn't even noticed it, but now wrapped in darkness, it seemed as if those small sounds would wake whatever was sleeping inside this house. Amelie? Lilica? She whispered, but heard no response. Upon being met with only more silence, her footsteps sped up. I can't speak. Far in the distance, she heard something shift. A slight sound, one that wouldn't normally be noticed. But for Sophia, it was enough to make her heart race. She sped to the end of the hallway and stood at the bottom of the grand staircase. Above her, eyes honed in on 2 doors in particular. The master bedroom and the door to Amelie's room. Amelie. The choice was obvious. Sophia raced up the stairs and stood in front of the door to her pen pal's room. but as she went to knock, the door fell open. Amelie? Are you in here? She received no reply. Sophia's head spun around. From somewhere deep in the dark, a gentle tune was being played skillfully. Her arms dropped to her side. The sound consumed her. Sophia drifted back out of Amelie's bedroom, chasing that dreamy song. No, fuck off. Sorry. Step, step, step. Through the darkness, all that mattered was that sound. She came to the end of the hallway. A single door stood in her way. A bookcase was pushed to the side. Without a second thought, she pulled it open. In the centre of the room, surrounded by candles, Amelie sat, her skirt fanned down around her. Spread out over the floor were piles of letters. Upon close inspection, each was filled with words that had been crossed out, and signed with yours, Marion. Who the fuck is Marion? Amelie, are you cheating on our girl, Sophia? Amelie? Amelie? Are you awake? Her eyes were shut tight, yet her hands moved enough to play the sorrowful tune. Please listen to me, Amelie. Lilica is... she isn't... I'm not what? You're going to leave her, aren't you? Sophia heard the door shut behind her. She backed up quickly and tried the handle, but it was stuck. Amelie's eyes finally opened. In place of her usual golden eyes was a glare of deep red. Amelie, snap out of it. Please, snap out of it. You want to take her away? Amelie, please. One by one, the candles blew out, and the two were plunged in the darkness. Amelie's body slumped forward and crashed to the ground. It's nice to meet you, Sophia. I am sure we're going to have a fun time living together. Since you'll be staying with us after all, right? Okay, I like that. I thought it was going to be a case where she just runs away. It's like, oh, you know, bit sad, but hey, she survives. That is spooky, I like that. Especially the music. I hope they fucking put the music on Spotify or something. Because I have some good music there. But believe now, yes, we can play Lilica. She has 3 endings. I have no idea how we're going to get all 3. If need be, I can just look on the Steam guide because I know there is one there. But I'm hoping we can get all 3 by ourselves. Lilica is not best girl. Stop that. Something unseen. Oh, that's different. The woman sat beside a man with an imposing brow and a large beard. The man wheezed and coughed, but kept hold of the newspaper in his hands. The front page read the following: The Great Plague of London, 7,000 deceased. Fuck yeah, it's a Black Death. The man frowned at the words. So I've been the dad and the mum. Oh, well, Lord, sorry. Big difference. Yeah, it's the parents, probably, yeah. How utterly preposterous. What on earth are the physicians doing? The lady sat next to him, coughed into her handkerchief. When she pulled it away from her mouth, it was stained red blood. Fuck yeah, we've had the cliche of the coughing into a handkerchief equals death. We fucking... Because it's a whole thing, especially with historical things, especially during the Victorian times and Middle Ages. If someone, especially a posh person, coughs into a handkerchief and does red blood, they are marked for death. They are gonna die. And it's funny because they'll even do it for diseases where that doesn't happen. And I fucking love it. I am sure they are trying their best, my dear. Their best is going to get everyone killed. Is to kill everyone. Forget this rubbish. Amelie is still well, and finally of age to marry. We'll arrange for a suitor before she becomes sick. If we send her out there, then she will certainly grow sick. She'll stay here, locked in a room until it is safe to leave. No man will want a woman who has spent her only good years locked in her bedroom. But she'll be safe. Wow, okay. The lady held her cheek, which quickly reddened after the impact. The Lord glared at her behind his bushy eyebrows. You do well to remember who she belongs to, who you belong to. The lady blinked, trying desperately to stop her eyes from welling up. Lilica, please come here. Her voice carried through the otherwise empty home. Time seemed to pause for a few moments before a woman with blonde hair, cascading behind her, entered the room. She wore the dress of a maidservant, and a neutral expression that revealed just so after seeing the mark left by the Lord's hand. Oh shit. She stepped forward, crossing the tiled floor with slow steps that seemed to match the pace of the thunder that roared outside. The lady nodded to the maid. The maid nodded back to the lady. The moon reflected from the metal object in the maid's hand as she swung it down into the Lord's throat. He let out a gargled scream. Blood spluttered out from his mouth, and he tried to yell, but it was too late. Okay, so he's fucking murdered the Lord. And I suppose, yeah, so it'll probably be the mum and Lilica who carried the body upstairs. He fell forward onto the floor, and the tiles darkened into a crimson red. He squirmed and crawled, searching for something that no one would ever know. But before he fell still only for a few minutes later. The lady stared at the scene, her heart raced and her laugh escaped her lips. Finally! Finally! You'll never hurt Amelie. I hope you rot in hell. The maid wiped the knife against a small white hand towel. The stains would never be fully removed. My lady, I will deal with the body. I will help you. He is too much for you to carry alone. But my lady, you are sick, and I'll get no better sitting here. The two grabbed him by an arm each and dragged him towards the stairwell, leaving a trail of blood behind their wake. Do you mean the bathroom? I don't think it's the one she used because there is no white option. But I can't remember any white towels, so I could be wrong. I just know, like, in the bathroom it was like the blue towel and the pink towel. No other words passed from their lips as they executed their task. Ah. Well, I suppose it could have been used for something. I don't know if it was used exactly for the wiping the blood, but it could have been used for something, I guess. No other words passed from their lips as they executed their task. They reached the end of the hall and began to ascend to the first floor. The Lord's head hit against each side with a soft thunk. Thunk, thunk, thunk. The house was silent in all other regards. Two doors sat next to each other. Both were shut tight. As the two women reached the top of the stairwell, the maid pushed open the door to the master bedroom and entered. The room was spacious and clean, with fresh bedding left by the maid just the same morning. On the wall above the bed, a newly painted family portrait. Two struggled and finally lifted the man into the bed. His face was struck by a terrified expression, and his clothes were ruined. You'll protect Amelie, right? I'll do anything you desire. Then let us begin. Lightning struck somewhere in the distance, lighting up the otherwise darkened room and showing many things that should have been left unseen. I'm just going to have a drink quickly. The maid removed her shoes and crawled onto the bed sheets beside the corpse. While the lady dipped her fingers into the Lord's wound and drew a line of blood around the bed. She spoke softly to no one in particular, chanting words that should never be chanted. When she was done, she stepped over the threshold and approached the maid. Never let anyone hurt her. Protect her no matter what. I will, my lady. Thank you, Lilica. You'll never truly understand how much your actions mean to me. The lady leant forward and left a soft kiss against the maid's lips. It was brief and gentle, and something the two had wished to share for longer than either would admit. As the lady pushed away, the maid drew a knife, still smudged with blood, and brought it to her veins. So before she goes, I'm going to say, They are truly living the be gay, do crime lifestyle. And you know what? As much as I hate Lilica, I approve of that. You know, I'm not going to say no to them killing an abusive aristocrat. That seems kind of based. Seems kind of cool. I approve. I enjoy it. It's nice. Goodbye, Lilica. Goodbye, my lady. Dead. The maids bled out slowly. Painfully slowly. The lady gasped for air and clawed down her neck. Everything in the manor became still. Oh! So did she kill the lady as well? Everything apart from a young lady named Amelie, who sat in bed upright, feeling a deep dread in the pit of her stomach, and another young lady named Lilica, who stood over two corpses lying beside each other in bed. Okay, so Lilica's not dead. Okay. The young lady named Lilica stared at the maid in the bed. Oh, wait. Her own face? Her own blood seeping through the bed? And yet here she stood. She looked at herself in the mirror and saw a different person entirely. She was no longer the maid. She was Lilica. Her voice was softer, her hair longer. It worked. When she turned back towards the bed, Lilica froze. Both of the bodies were gone, and in the places 2 skeletons. How long has it been? She walked towards the door and found it locked. Digging through the tattered clothes of the long dead maid, she retrieved the key and opened it. The door beside the master bedroom sat ajar just enough for Lilica to peer in. Amelie sat on the end of her bed, staring at herself in the small handled mirror while brushing her hair. She hummed a quiet tune, but froze as her eyes met Lilica's. Okay, wait. So, I'm guessing the lady's dead, but I'm gonna try and forget about that because I know it seems a bit not convoluted, but just, I can't comprehend it really. I'm just dumb shit. Who are you? I am Lilica. Lilica, but your mother told me that you had a maid named Lilica. What a coincidence. What are you doing here? How long has your mother been gone? My mother? I saw her. She frowned and clutched her head, as if she couldn't quite remember. I saw her just this morning. I see. Your parents have left to be cured of the plague. They've asked me to stay here with you until they can return. Really? A cure truly exists? That's right. So until then, how about we be friends? Amelie's face lit up and the eternal friendship began. Highlight on eternal. Big highlight on eternal. How many years had passed since that day? Neither could tell. Time seemed to stand still within that manor, out in a field in the middle of nowhere. And that's the way Lilica wished it to stay. Lilica, a letter has arrived. A what? A what? Her blood ran cold as Amelie stared at the envelope in her letters. When was the last time we had a letter? How exciting. Perhaps it's mother, writing that she will return soon. Perhaps so. Oh. Oh? It seems to be addressed to someone else entirely. Perhaps it was brought here by mistake. Then we had best send it back. Give it to me and I'll have it returned. A peak wouldn't hurt, don't you think? Lilica watched as the first crack formed in her fragile world. Oh shit. I'll dispose of it immediately. Give it here. But it was too late. The letter inside had already been let loose, and Amelie's eyes had already taken in the words left for someone else. Sophia. Lilica, I think I'll write back. Oh no. Lilica, I think I'll write back. I'll let her know that I received the letter by mistake. That isn't needed. Please? Just one letter. Thank you, Lilica. It became much more than one letter. How many letters had arrived at the door since then? How many times had Amelie spoken excited about Sophia to her? Sophia. Sophia, Sophia, Sophia. It's always Sophia. Sophia is the crack in the fragile reality. Sophia. I have to get rid of Sophia. Lilica? Lilika's eyes opened with a jolt. I'm sorry, I'm just a bit tired. What did you say? Sophia's just coming to visit us. Another crack formed from the last. It sprawled across reality, threatening to shatter any moment. Oh, okay. Oh, the background's getting more shadow too. I fucking love that. Amelie, I don't think that's a good idea. The plague. She says that it's safe enough. Travel now in her letter. Perhaps Mother and Father will return soon too. Lilika forced a smile. But we don't need anyone else here. We have each other. Of course, you are my dear friend, Lilika. But Sophia and I have been writing to each other for... She shook her head as if chasing off the beginnings of a headache. For a long time, anyway. I am excited to finally meet her. Won't you be excited with me too? We can all be friends. Right, friends. I'm sure we'll all be the best of friends. For an amount of time that neither Lilika or Amelie could truly comprehend, the house was suddenly was buzzing with life. Amelie's footsteps were light, and her days filled with excitement as she awaited the arrival of Sophia. And finally, to Lilika's dismay, the day came. The pendulum clock on the wall swung back and forth, ticking down the time. Lilika stared at it, wishing that it would slow down even further. 10 minutes, then 20, then an hour passed as the two stood by the door, waiting for a knock. She seems to be late. Perhaps she's not coming after all, Amelie. There is no need to make such a solemn face. And okay, yes, now this is where it reached the beginning of the first and second chapter, pretty much. With her face hidden from Amelie, Lilika scowled. Amelie smiled, to Lilika's dismay. Oh no. Oh, it's going to be weird seeing it from Lilika's perspective. And knocks on at the door, instantly halting the conversation. Amelie rose from her place and took a steady step forward before Lilika raised her hand to stop her. Allow me to see if she could truly be allowed entry. She was dressed from head to toe. Lilika stared at her, light hair and eyes. She looked almost like a kitten. Instantly, Lilika's dislike for the woman grew. Yo, the fuck do you have against kittens, dude? What the fuck? Lilika stepped to the side just in time for Sophia to bounce through the door and wrap her arms around Amelie. Her blood boiled. They got the dramatic fucking shadow over her eyes. She watched the clothes she had carefully handmade become drenched by someone unworthy. Someone that didn't deserve to even look at Amelie. Amelie! Amelie's arms wrapped around Sophia in return, and Lilika turned away. With a cool anger ran over her features, Lilika shut the door. It's a funny now just seeing it from her perspective because, yeah, I fucking love it. Yada yada yada. I would skip ahead, but well, I can't skip ahead and I don't want to accidentally risk just going past like something from Lilika's perspective. Lilika stood to the side, her arms crossed slightly over her chest. Her long hair reached down nearly to the wooden floor. Amelie side-eyed Lilika upon hearing her tone, but Lilika simply looked away. Amelie disappeared down the hallway, leaving Lilika alone with Sophia. Has no one told you how rude it is to poke around someone else's house? Sophia walked straight past Lilika without even a notion of responding. Hello? You can't see me. Sophia ran her finger along the edge of the tabletop before reaching to pick up a book that rested there. Don't let her touch it. Don't let her touch anything. She'll break it all. She'll end it. That's a spelling error right there, I think. So yeah, it's like she'll end everything. I mean, that's what I was meant to say. She'll end everything. She wants to hurt Amelie. She can't find out the truth. The window shook loudly in the wind with the flick of her small wrist. Lilica allowed the door to fly open, causing Sophia to whip around in surprise. Lilica locked in on the object that Sophia had been searching for. I didn't even fucking notice the everything. I said, it could either be a case of just accidental spelling, or it could be a case where it's purposeful and meant to like depict, I don't know. I have no idea what it meant to represent, but yeah. She rushed forward and took hold of it, then quickly hid it behind a cabinet. Sophia reached to close the door. Phew. Amelie? It could still be in front as well, to be fair, yeah. Because Sophia's name is the same in the menu on screen, isn't it? I didn't notice. I will admit, I'm terrible at noticing when things are spelled incorrectly, usually. Sophia spun around but looked straight through Lilica. Sophia? See, another thing as well, something else funny. Let me think. Oh yeah, so like, in Amelie's perspective, when she comes back here to this point, I don't think you sort of do see Lilica, but she's very much to the side. Like, it's like the point where it's closed in on Sophia and Amelie, and you sort of see like the very edge of Lilica on the side. Because I remember like thinking like, oh, that's a bit weird. Well, I guess that makes more sense now, especially like, if she is very much a peripheral, not peripheral, but like, I don't know exactly how to put it. Yeah, you remember earlier, yeah. Lilica watched as Sophia dried herself with the towel. Our towel. It's not for her. There can't be a next time. I'm actually loving doing the fucking, not exactly doing voices, but trying to put an emotion expression into my voice while I'm trying to do it. Sophia and Amelie walked side by side, close enough that their shoulders almost touched. Lilica stared at the place where they almost connected, seething with a quiet rage. Yada 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 yada. Shut up. Your voice disgusts me. Your words are poisoning Amelie. Lies. You're lying. Yada 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 yada. Sophia slipped through a doorway and disappeared. Amelie smiled widely, while Lilica just stared ahead blankly. Isn't this lovely, Lilica? To have a new face in the house, it feels like forever. Oh yeah, I've seen this bit, yeah. Oh, okay. What I'm gonna do, because no, like, if I do click the Sever of Fate thing multiple times, then I'll give a new ending. I think on the first run through of this chapter, I'm just gonna like play it normally without pressing the buttons, and chances I'm gonna get maybe one, maybe two options there, because there's 3 endings. I do that, and we can see what the worst ending is. So I'm guessing we click the Sever her Fate thing, she'll be free and things will be fine. Or not, I don't know, but yeah. Haha, she's jealous. Yeah. Lilica's smile at that moment seemed to hide behind an intent much deeper than Amelie realised. Murder! Good old-fashioned murder. With a cultism added in, of course. The walls had eyes. That's a normal thing. For walls to... okay. Eyes that tracked Lilica's every move. They followed her as she made careful, deliberate steps towards the sitting room. They stared, their eyes bulging, judging. They had no mouths in which to scream. But Lilica could hear their words. We all sacrificed ourselves for you. Hope, our only hope. Amelie, protect Amelie. Prove your worth. Prove your love. Amelie, Amelie, Amelie. Under her feet, shattered glass pierced through her shoes, cutting her feet. She could feel the blood ooze out, pooling. It was warm, comforting. She looked up to find where the glass had come from. And then she noticed the cracks once again. Along every wall, every floorboard, even through the air. The world was fragmenting. It was already broken. Not beyond repair. There's not. My lady, I will fix this still. You can rest. Please rest. I will take care of everything. Anything and everything. For you. She blinked. I know everything's fine. Yeah, just 1 second. I'm just gonna... Basically my phone's nearly run out of charge and I have to keep track of chat, so I just need to plug that in. But that requires me very carefully to work out how the fuck to get it plugged in. And still close enough that I can see chat while playing. That should be good enough, I think. I can still read my phone from... Okay, yeah. Again, sorry for the distraction. That's very bad timing from me. But I've been waiting a while and it's like on less than 10% now. The world reverted to the way it should. The glass that lined the floor, gone. The eyes that followed from the walls, gone. And the cracks that had wrapped themselves around Lilica's ankles had disappeared too. She stood in front of the sitting room's door, which sat slightly ajar. Inside, Lilica could see Sophia staring out the large window. Her back stayed turned as Lilica entered the room. Of course, it wouldn't have even been possible for Sophia to turn and look at her. But Lilica still found herself taking careful, quiet steps. The windows shook past the dark, thick curtains. You who would attempt to defy your fate. Why don't we see how long this little game lasts? Why don't we test whose love is stronger? I swear my love is unwavering. My infatuation, my yearning, my desire. You could never even wish to match it. Lilica pulled out a chair roughly, dragging her legs across the floor. I knew it was fucking Lilica who did that. Booyah, in your face, Lise, I was right. I mean it in the polite way of in your face. Yet you dare to challenge me? You dare to test my love? Amelie, was that you? Amelie? Sophia took careful steps towards the chair. Sad Lise and Lilica noises. Okay, I'm really sad to make you made you sad, but I'm really happy to have made Lilica sad. I'm really happy to have done that. Because I still don't like Lilica. I empathise with her, but I don't like her. Sophia took careful steps towards the chair, resting her hands against it. Oh, Lilica. I can't do an evil laugh. In fact, let me try. No, I can't do an evil laugh. I'm so sorry. Just insert an evil laugh in your imagination. Like, I don't know. Grayskull from He-Man. Just take his evil laugh and put it over this. Yeah, that's an effective laugh. I'm sure that'd be really scary and super fitting of this situation. You're nothing. Sophia sat down in the chair that was offered to her, while Lilica circled around as if a cat after its prey. But her steps paused as she heard something strange. Footsteps from above. The master bedroom. In front of her very eyes, Lilica watched a scene unfold. A scene that made her blood run cold and her body freeze in place. My lady. The lady of the house stood beside Lilica. Where before the two had stood eye to eye, now the lady stood taller than Lilica by at least a head. My lady, what are you doing here? The lady removed her shoes and stepped onto the table. Did you come to punish me? Are you angry? I promise I will remove the plague that has entered our home. I swear it upon my undying love. The lady did not respond. Instead, she reached up and took hold of the noose. The rope was wrapped around her neck, exactly where the necklace that the maid had gifted the lady should have rested. Join me. Her eyes rested on Sophia's. Her hands were outstretched, waiting to be taken. Why won't you look at me, my lady? Are you truly so angry? Angry enough to despise me? For but a moment, as Sophia's outstretched hand came closer and closer, the lady's eyes turned slowly towards Lilica. They carried with them a message that only Lilica could decipher. Lilica's body shook. It trembled and trembled, until she could bear it no more, and she ran from the room as fast as her legs would carry her. If the orbe still had eyes, they weren't fast enough to follow Lilica. The floorboards, as if made out of quicksand, threatened to suck her up and bury her deep within the house. Her feet felt heavy and leaden. Every step was as painful as that brief glance. She raced through the hallway and up a flight of stairs, past the stained glass window, which has left a myriad of colours over the carpeted steps, and past the doors that led to the master bedroom and Amelie's room. Closer, closer, until she arrived at a bookcase. She pushed it to the side and entered the hidden room. The room behind the bookcase was small, and not a single window faced outwards. Thus room was near pitch black. Each wall was plastered with handwritten letters. Handwritten letters clearly for Lilica alone. Her eyes, frantic, finally started to calm as she took in the words. Her words. Words left to her, for her, only for her. Lilica's eyes settled on a particular letter. Look ahead. Dear Lilica, today was tough. I tried my hardest, but I still failed. Do you think life is unfair sometimes? I wish trying hard enough was all that took to succeed. Sorry, I'm whinging, aren't I? I came out of my interview and it was raining. I thought just my luck. But something interesting happened. A rainbow in the distance peeked out from behind the grey clouds. It reminded me of you, and then I felt a little better. I hope we can meet soon. Yours, Marion. I'm guessing Marion is the lady of the house then. Okay, this is making sense. And also, rainbow, gay. They are still dumbass lesbians. So look right. Dear Lilica. Yeah, my brain turned off for a second there. I spent the past week studying. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy it, but everyone needs a break, you know? On my desk I have a little cactus in a pot. To be honest, a cactus was my first choice, but I've killed every other plant I've ever owned. Anyway, it bloomed. There's one beautiful flower coming out of it. I couldn't be happier. So that makes studying easier. I think your environment makes a big difference. How about you? Do you have any plants? I'm looking forward to hearing about it next time. Yours, Marion. Damn. Dear Lilica, how wonderful to hear you're doing well. I've been very busy this week, but most of it is boring, so I won't bog you down with the details. But do you know what happened just yesterday? Of course you don't. You weren't there. I was walking home when I heard an abandoned kitten. Someone left it in a box on the side of the road. How could anyone do that? Anyway, I took her home and I named her Lily, after you. It's a little embarrassing writing out like that. Hope you don't mind. Yours, Marion. Okay, first of all, it's actually really sweet that Sophia did that. But also, Lily, like the name Lily from Marion, that's not. I know they don't seem to connect to me, but it's still sweet. I sort of feel a bit sad for Lilica. Wait, no, Marion was saying. Oh, yeah, now I fucking get it. Lily from Lilica. Yeah, that's me being at the mess. She ripped the letter from the wall and clutched it to her chest, collapsing to her knees. She couldn't hate me. She couldn't. She adores me, like I adore her. She entrusted her everything to me. Everything. Her everything. Amelie. The letter dropped from her fingers that were neither cold nor warm. You want me to get rid of that disease, don't you? You want to accept me until I protect Amelie. Is that right, my lady? I do anything you ask. So if that's all I have to do, then I will do it. I'll keep Amelie safe. Forever. Lilica stood from the ground and dusted off her skirt. Her face, that had previously contorted in distress, had finally calmed, and a smile gently crept onto her face. I love you, my lady, and for you, I will love Amelie too. Damn it, they made me feel sad for fucking Lilica. Like, I still believe she's wrong in this. I'm just gonna have a quick drink. I still believe she's wrong and that she isn't right in anything that she's done. But I see why. Yeah, poor Lilica, exactly right. That's right. You know, also she is a dumbass lesbian. But no, she's a murderous lesbian. But also that, you know, I'm not gonna get into that. I should like the sconces too. Where did I put those matches? Right here. Ta-da! She fucking jump scared. Yada yada. I'm not gonna read out the fucking lines again. So that's why she suddenly starts saying, like, she should go, okay, that makes sense, I get that. Study. She wants to leave the house. No. She can't leave. She can't go anywhere. She belongs here. She's entrusted to me. Okay, so okay, this makes it seems less now she's got kidnapped her, more like, okay, she's been entrusted with protecting Amelie by the woman that she loves, and she's sort of, I thought she's taking that to the extreme, or was already at the extreme, but either way, they are now at the point where she refused to even let Amelie leave for the sake of protecting her. Okay. Just waiting for the fucking next bit. Behind her, she could hear the water running. She could picture Sophia's body, slowly shedding its layers of clothes before she stepped into the hot water. That image was enough to force her hand. The running water sloshed into the steel-lined wooden tub. A state-of-the-art system. No one else in the country owned anything like it. But how many years ago was that? How long had it been? Sophia leaned over the sink, her bone-white knuckles grasping either side of it. Her back was turned to Lilica. If she wanted, she could stab her in the back and be over with it. No. I need to keep Amelie's trust. I'm gonna have a quick drink as well. Jesus Christ. I need to keep Amelie's trust. She needs to leave or go somewhere else she'll never be found. Or do it herself. Sophia lifted her face in the mirror, then froze. Her eyes bore into it, as if she was seeing something she shouldn't. Lilica stared back, unmoving. Leave already. One step at a time, maintaining contact with the mirror, Lilica crept closer and closer, until the two were nearly touching. Why do you want to take Amelie away? Can you see that she loves me? Me, not you. Your words are poisoning this household. If you don't leave, I'll kill you. Fuck's sake! That ruined the dramatic. God damn it. Can we get back in the mood? Okay. I'll have no choice. I'll just kill you. Who are you? Sophia whipped around, but her eyes didn't focus on any spot in particular. To where? Lilica was gone. Lilica, okay. So yeah, we're gonna skip this bit again. Not skip, but like, just not sever a fate. Lilica walked towards an open cabinet and pulled something out. The metal of the razor glinted. Lilica raised it up and she moved to stand over the bath. With ease, the metal cut into her arm. Drops of blood fell into the water, leaving tiny splashes where they connected. Blood still runs in my veins, after all. Sophia rushed past Lilica, desperate to turn off the overflowing water before she froze once again. Are we back to the blood bit? Okay, we're back to the blood bit. The water was a deep, dark red. Her slender fingers dipped into the liquid as if she were entranced. One layer at a time, she stripped bare, her expression hollow and lifeless. Lilica watched her naked body step into the crimson water. Why not just end it here? You're scared, aren't you? Just sink down. Accept your fate. Accept it. A knock came from the door. Lilica's widened eyes went from the door to the young woman in the bath, and then back again. Excuse me, I'm coming in. Lilica ducked behind the folding screen just in time to hear the door open. Sophia? I knocked but I didn't hear a reply. I brought you a towel. Ah! I still can't do the fucking scream. She didn't wait any longer. As Annie stepped into the room to set down a towel, Lilica quickly dashed out into the hall. Okay, it's still making sense. I'm still keeping up with this. Before Lilica had a chance to even catch her breath, the bathroom door opened and once again, and Lilica stepped out with flushed cheeks. Did you tell her she must depart? Oh, for fuck's sake. I need to be careful about, on the right side of the mouse. Dialogue. No, she must leave now. Tonight. No longer. That woman. That siren. Look what she does to our Amelie. Yada yada yada. From the inside the door, Sophia's voice came in return. Again, I both can't be arsed, and I don't mind to do it handle it very well if I just read all the dialogue out. The guest bedroom was freshly cleaned, with new linen on the bed and a lit lantern beside it. Fortunately, Lilica had prepared the room well in advance. Yada yada. Okay, so do we find out about the greenhouse? Because it seemed a little bit odd, but I could understand it. So, by now, a dozen cracks stemmed from a dozen other cracks, filling the entirety of Lilica's world. At any moment, even a breeze would make everything collapse. Did we already speak of this? You cannot leave the house. Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay, I'm not going to anymore. But surely the greenhouse would be safe. No one else uses it, and it is only a few steps from the door. Yada yada. Yada yada, please. Something different. Lilica crossed her arms over her chest, anger already rising in her chest. Bit of repetition there. Yada yada yada. Poison dripped from her voice as Lilica left the guest room behind. Okay, now I'm guessing that she just waits up right outside the door. Or not. The house had a heart, and that heart was beating to the same rhythm as Lilica's. It was frenzied, on the verge of losing control. It echoed through her head, through the hall, through to every corner of the building. Like Morse code, it was as if the house itself was telling her to do something. Get rid of her. Cut out the disease. Protect Amelie. She bit her thumb, pacing back and forth. Amelie will be upset. But Amelie doesn't need anyone else. She has me. She won't be upset for long, and she'll forget. That's right. She'll forget. Her breath hitched in her throat. But what do I do? What do I do? She just won't die. My lady, what am I supposed to do? At that moment, Lilica put her ear to Amelie's door, listening intently. How about coming away with me for a while? Away? Outside the house? What about the sickness? Away? Outside the house? It's okay now. You'll be okay. You can come stay at my house. I could show you around my school. You don't have to go through an arranged marriage if you don't want to. Lilica's hand wandered to her fists at her side. You'd do that for me? You're my dearest friend, and I actually... You think you can take her away from me? Lilica's balled fist slammed against the door. Each one sent a pain shooting up her arm, all the way to her shoulder. Inside, the voices went quiet. Okay. I think I'm getting this. So, if we allow her fate, she will die. If we deny her fate, I guess she'll stay here, I guess. I'm gonna allow her fate. We're gonna fucking kill Sophie. Even though she's one of my favorite, she's pretty much my favorite character, I think. Actually, no. It's still a tie between her and Amelie, but you know. Wait, allow, deny, and sever. Yeah, okay, so I'm guessing, like, deny, we keep her in the house, but she lives, I guess. And sever is, like, we actually allow her to leave, and I guess it all falls apart, maybe. Like, Amelie's able to leave as well, maybe. But allow her fate, she fucking dies. Like, with the skeletons, I guess. Let's find out, eh? She doesn't belong to you. My brain turned up. Okay, it's fine. It's back on now. Lilica? Finally, Lilica snapped out of her daze. At some point, Amelie had left the guest bedroom and was standing at a short distance away from her, looking worried. Instantly, she took a deep breath and composed herself. But her heart still beat as loud as a drum, and the cracks that seemed to be centered around Amelie were still spreading out at an increasing rate. It's late. You should retire to your bedroom. Yeah, I shall. It's nice having someone else around, isn't it? I feel as if the man has come back to life. I hope you see mother and father soon. I'm sure you will. Shall I see you to bed? Yes, please. The hallway was darkened, with only a few sconces and candles lit along the way, and Lilica relished in it. On a night like this, long ago in the past, she had sealed her fate, along with Amelie's, and tonight she'll seal the fate of yet another person. Woo! The two rose up the grand staircase, side by side, moonlight drifting in through the stained glass window. This seemed to be the only place free from those cracks. If she squinted, she could almost see it, almost hear it. That head hitting each step with a loud thunk. Those eyes would never open again to look upon a woman with scorn. That hand would never be raised to leave a mark on pristine skin. The sound filled her with joy, and the thought of repeating that fateful night left her footsteps light with excitement. I'm just gonna skip this. I'm just gonna not do dialogue here, I think. Oh, okay, yes. This is where Lily can't even speak. This is where she gets fucking homophobic. Yada yada yada. Lilica, who was seated on the edge of Amelie's bed, stood with unsteady feet. Standing in the doorway, she looked back at Amelie. As her hand rested against the door, a sudden pang went through Lilica's cold heart. She is important to you, isn't she? Of course. Her words have always been something that have brightened my day. Even if she were to leave. Leave? But I believe she'll leave eventually, Lilica. There's little choice, really. All I can do is hope she'll visit again. I see. Good night, Amelie. Sleep well. Whatever Amelie said in reply was lost to the darkness as Lilica stepped out of the bedroom. As she left the room, she noticed it. A dark shadow stalking through the night, slowly creeping through the hall. Lilica frowned. My lady, you must forgive me. I've rarely seen Amelie so happy. But she cannot stay. No, she must leave immediately, and I will make her. Okay, so I'm guessing the shadow is Sophia. She stood on the grand staircase, outlined in the moon's glow. Sophia, you can't see me, can't hear me, but you can sense me, can you not? The shadow paused, their eyes going up the staircase. Their shadow warped strangely across the carpeted steps. You will leave this place immediately, and you will never come back. Lilica? The blonde girl pushed her face from a step, and I crashed to the ground below, smashing into tiny pieces. Sophia jumped in response, a shiver running down her spine. I won't warn you again. Leave. Slowly and steadily, Sophia crept up the stairs until her face was almost close to touch Lilica's. Is that you, Lilica? In a small motion, Lilica dropped something from her sleeve. It clattered to the floor at Sophia's feet. She gripped at her shirt even more tightly. This is your last chance. I don't care whether you live or die. There's only a favour to Amelie. As if her nerves had finally gone the better of her, Sophia turned on the spot and ran, back down the staircase into the dark hall. Okay, this is different from what happened before, I guess, but I like it. Lilica followed behind her, slamming doors and knocking things down to the ground. Sophia, too scared to even turn around, ran as fast as her legs would take her until she reached the front door. Instead of being locked and closed up tightly, it sat open, as if waiting for her to leave. She didn't waste even a single second more, and she was gone. She's gone. Gone. I did it, Amelie. I did it. You did what? Oh shit. They're both fucking up. Did you? This isn't what it looks like, Amelie. Please, listen to me. Did you force her to leave? No, I'm going after her. Lilica jumped in front of the door, arms spread wide. You can't. Why? It is unsafe to do so. You belong with me. Together. I've had enough of this, and that being unsafe. Lilica, either you move to the side, or any friendship I thought we had is gone. Oh shit. There, okay, it's fine now. Lilica wavered. Her arms, which had held such conviction, began to droop. I've always done what's best for you, have I not? All of this time, have I not remained at your side? Please, trust me. I only did what I had to do. So this is what you've decided? Don't come near me again. Amelie turned her back on the blonde-haired woman, who dropped to her knees as she watched her leave. Amelie, good night, Lilica. Darkness filled every inch of her brain. A voice screamed down from inside of her, mocking her. This isn't right. My lady, this isn't right. I didn't do the right thing. I let her go. I did her a favour. But Amelie is upset. Okay. Her lady offered her no answer. Is this punishment for not doing as you wished? Sophia should have died. She should have died. She should have died. Died. But now she is alive, and Amelie is angry. In that dark room, all alone, Lilica clutched onto something. Something she kept hidden in a closet, away from any prying eyes. She held it tighter. Its green dress fell apart at her touch. Oh. Can't you make this all better again? Can't you make her forget? Her forehead fell down and rested against the other person's shoulder. They remained silent, as they had been for many long years. I'm sorry. I'll make it better. We can make her forget, can't we? Can't we start again? Just like before, we can start again. Lilica stirred, placing the skeleton of her lady carefully back into the closet. Keep waiting for me. I promise. I'll make everything right again. Let's start again, Amelie. You and me, forever. Oh my god. Okay, keeps going. Okay. Lilica walked into the room, holding a tray carefully in her hands. On it sat a teapot and 2 cups. Amelie, I have brought the tea. Excellent. It smells delicious. Amelie smiled brightly, filling Lilica with happiness in return. Lilica, may I ask you something? Of course. I found this letter by the front door. Do you know where it came from? Amelie held out an envelope. The front was blank. How strange. Perhaps it was delivered here by accident. Lilica took it from her and opened it. At the bottom it was signed, yours always, Sophia. Yes, it seemed to be someone else. I'll make this back, yes? Thank you, Lilica. I appreciate it. Finished with her tea, Amelie stood first and left the room. Lilica smiled. From under her table, she pulled out a stack of envelopes that seemed to match the one Amelie had given to her. And all at once, she threw them into the fireplace. Goodbye, Sophia. Okay, I like that. It's different from what I thought. Just be like, oh, Sophia just gets fucking murdered. I thought it'd be that. I thought it'd be a rehash of the skeleton murder, but just from like Lilica's point of view. But no, that was different. I like that. So there's 2 more for Lilica. I guess we're gonna play it again. I think what I'm gonna do is obviously skip through and stuff. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is doing it. So I'm just gonna leave it here for a second. This time I'm gonna not read any of the letters, and I'm gonna deny her fate, and then next time I'll sever her fate. Oh, we have to read one of the letters. Okay, I'll look left. Are you doing well? I've been busy this week. Okay, that's read about the kitten. Okay, stop reading. She ripped the letter from the wall and crushed her breast, collapsed into her knees. Okay, so that's just the same. Okay, I don't think it has any major impact. We are still not severing her fate. Not yet. Oh, so okay, so this is the big decision. We're gonna deny her fate this time. She doesn't belong to you. Lilica? Okay, so it makes no difference yet. There's a can't let skip because I'm missing stuff, so she's gotta wait, I guess. Yada 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 yada. There's a part where she's oh no. Only skip stuff you've read. I think it could be that. I think it might just only skip things you haven't read, but I don't want to risk it, if that makes sense. So if I do that and I end up skipping stuff, that's sort of fucks not exactly fucks things up, but just sort of makes things a bit worse. Good night, Amelie. Tomorrow everything will be better, so sleep well. Lilica steeled her resolve and stepped out of the bedroom. Okay. She first went back to the guest room and put her ear to the door. No sound could be heard from behind it. Then she noticed something. Someone else walking down the hallway unsteadily. I thought they actually added in the shadow this time. Lilica follows closely behind. Through the darkness, the other person was only a shadow, their features obscured and hidden. The sound of her can't speak. The sound of her light steps on the old wooden floorboards mixed in with the rain now still raging just outside those walls. The kitchen was by the stairwell. That's right, by the stairwell. But you aren't going to the kitchen, are you? The hand-painted portraits were lined up in rows on either side of the hall. It seemed as if their eyes moved to follow Lilica's every move. Sophia stared up at the grand staircase. She seemed as if she were entranced with each and every step. They're waiting for you. Those 2 people, they're calling for you. Go on. Go to them. Sophia's unsteady hand reached to the banister. Her ascent was slow and careful, her eyes fixed on that door. That special door. That room where the maid met her end, and her most hated person rested beside her. That room where she had made a promise to the person she loved. Lilica needed only to reach into the kitchen and procure the item that was waiting for her. Had been waiting for her this all time, since Sophie had arrived. A knife with dark age stains over the blade and hilt. Long had I sat there, festering, waiting. desperate for more. More blood. Like a hunter stalking her prey, Lilica followed behind Sophia, the knife gripped tightly in her hand. The two stood side by side, staring at the door to the master bedroom. It was shut tight, as it had been for countless years. Sophia trembled. With a smile, Lilica reached over to give her an arm a squeeze. Go on. You want to know the truth, don't you? You can hear their voices. I'll allow you this much. With a careful motion, Sophia pushed the door open. All at once, countless memories came flooding back of love, hope, of the future, and of death. Sophia disappeared into the dark room, the only light being a candle she carried in her hand. A family of mice ran out from the room and down the stairs. The taste of freedom was oh so sweet for them. More quiet than the mouse had escaped, Lilica followed Sophia into the room. Wax dripped from the ground and candle onto the wooden floor. She trembled as she reached a shaky hand onto the bed. And at that same moment, Lilica swung the door closed behind them, and the room plunged into darkness. But that darkness didn't matter to Lilica, not to she, who knew this room like the back of her hand. Amelie? Is that you? Amelie isn't here to save you. Sophia's eyes searched the room to no avail. I'm sorry I came in here, after you asked me not to. I'll just go now, okay? The pale-haired woman fell back onto the bed before she had a moment to react. The yellowed bones of the lord of the manor and the maid rattled underneath her. Flesh long deteriorated. Lilica smiled. How long has it been since I last saw myself truly? What? I can't do the scream still. It looks like we're finally meeting, Sophia. With a leg on either side of her, Lilica held Sophia down to the bed, still smiling. She tried to squirm, to escape, to run free. Her eyes were filled with terror. You won't take her away from me. Sophia's scream became a muffled cry, before finally extinguishing fully. Oh shit, fuck. Finally. My lady, did you see? Are you watching? I've saved her. I've saved Amelie. Only when Lilica tried to stand did she notice it. An aged bone sticking out of her stomach. Dark liquids dripped out from under it. With a slight frown, Lilica pulled it free. It's okay. I'll be okay. Lilica closed her eyes. I'm just a little tired. I'll just sleep for a bit. Her eyes grew heavy. So heavy. So heavy that the only option would be to sleep at this very moment. How could you do that? Lilica, why? Why? Why would you hurt Amelie like that? Why did you kill Amelie? Her eyes opened with a start, her heart racing faster than it had ever raced before. The room seemed to be spinning, and her head throbbing. Then she saw it. Lying on the bed, between the two skeletons, was the body of a young woman. A young woman with long brown hair. Her dress was stained red. Amelie? No, that's not. That's not. Who did this? Who? Sophia? Amelie, wake up. Wake. She blinked, and the young woman below her disappeared. In her place, Sophie appeared. The room was still dark. Not even a drop of sunlight peeked through the cupboard windows. What a cruel trick of the eyes. She stepped out from the master bedroom, just as Amelie did the same, right next door. Good morning, Lilica. I was just on my way to see if Sophia has awakened yet. Amelie. Sophia disappeared during the night, I believe. She went to the same place your parents went. What? That cannot be right. Don't run, Amelie. Amelie dashed down the hall and knocked quickly on the door to the guest bedroom, which will open with no resistance. Inside, the bedding was dishevelled, and a look was strewn about. This is not true. She wouldn't just leave without saying goodbye. Dearie me. I'm sorry. I told you it's bad. Oh, fuck's sake. I told you it's a bad idea for anyone to visit, didn't I? Oh, Lilica. This isn't fair. I thought... She said she would... There. Come here. Lilica wrapped her thin arms around the young woman, gently patting her on the back. See? You shouldn't depend on anyone else. I'm here. I won't ever leave you. Amelie crushed her back, tears already falling from her eyes. We'll be together forever. Oh. What the fuck? This is different. I thought that was just the ending. I thought that was just the same ending as, like, Amelie's chapter, but no. Amelie froze in Lilica's arms before pulling back completely. What's happened to your face? My face? Lilica's hands went to her face instantly. Is something wrong? Amelie's expression had darkened, her mouth firmly shut in a line. My face? Pulling a small mirror from her pocket, Lilica finally saw it. A black face, a black void of nothingness where her face should have been. She turned and ran, down the hall and up the stairs, before Lilica could even call out after her. The void seemed to seep out from her very skin, oozing, leaking out from the wound at her stomach. That disease-ridden hag. Amelie, wait. It's okay. Everything will be all... Lilica's hand that reached out towards Amelie fell to her side. At the very top of the staircase, in a manner in the middle of a field, far out in the countryside, Amelie stood in an open doorway. A doorway that hadn't been opened for her in more years than she could truly imagine. And inside she witnessed a sight she never should have. Her eyes hollow and her body petrified. Sophia, Amelie, this isn't. Stay away from me. Her long brown hair cascaded out around her as Amelie rushed into her bedroom, slamming the door behind her. Lilica rushed up the staircase, banging her fist against the locked door. Amelie, this is all a misunderstanding. She was going to hurt you. I saved you. She fell to her knees, her fist still pounding on the wooden door. A muffled sob came from within, then silence. The void surrounded Lilica, flowing from her wound and wrapping itself around her body. She clung to a ball. The sound of her chair hitting the ground inside the bedroom was the last sound Lilica heard for her eyes closed, and she became one with the void. Okay, so that's a dark ending. So in that one, Sophie gets killed by Lilica. Sophie manages to stab Lilica with a bone. This then leads to, I guess, like Lilica starting to die slowly, and then Amelie kills herself by hanging herself. And I guess this sort of like means that like Lilica either dies from the wound, or she dies because Amelie no longer is living. If that makes sense. That's it. Yes, Elise. That's a big F in the group chat. That's a big F in the chat. But now, one more ending. Hoorah! We can do this. We got a handy helper as well, because we can just skip. Stabbings, woohoo, drama. Okay. Sever a fate. Okay, I'm gonna see if that changes any dialogue anytime soon. Amelie, I have something to say to you. You're my very best friend. Did you know that? I feel the same towards you, Lilica. And as such, I feel the need to be truthful with you. You appreciate the truth, don't you? Of course. I trust your judgment very much. Is something the matter? Okay, I feel as though there isn't actually an option here. Gotta be honest with you. I feel as though these aren't true options, but fuck it, Mill. Your mother contacted me. She believes they'll be able to return shortly. Oh, Lilica, isn't this wonderful news? Indeed. She was very excited for me to pass on a message to you, but... Again, not much of an option here. There seems to be a sort of theme of I have to lie. Not gonna lie. This is very much a girl boss move from Lilica here, but I don't want to be a girl boss. Well, she wasn't best pleased to hear that you had someone visiting without her permission. Oh. I thought she'd be delighted that I invited a friend. Lilica is a real PogChamp. Lilica is not PogChamp, okay? Lilica is a toxic fucking character. I mean, I don't know. No, because there's been so much fucking emotional development of it now, and it's like, oh god, I'm actually empathizing for her. Like, yeah, she's fucking toxic as hell, but I can understand why she's toxic now, and that makes it hard if we just hate her outright. God damn it. Your entire existence is a lie. Let's go with ally. Of course. I pleaded with her that Sophia was a dear friend, but she wouldn't listen. I see. Did she say when she would return? No, but it seems to be soon. Then I'll send Sophia away like normal tomorrow. I can't exactly force her out into the storm, can I? Why not? Lilica. Naturally, I am just teasing. Of course, it wouldn't be right to send her away at a time like this. I'm glad to hear that we've come to an agreement. How pleased I am to know that my mother will return soon. Let's go prepare tea, shall we? Okay, so I guess like this is gonna be like. Okay, so I'm guessing here it's gonna be a case where I'm just guessing at the ending now because why the fuck not? If you sever her fate, Sophie will leave alive. Maybe confused, but alive. But Amelie will stay this time, and she'll continue living their life with Lilica. I mean, the thing is, I honestly don't know if she's the best ending, to be honest. Anyway, let's skip ahead again. Look ahead. Yada 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 yada. Yeah, letters. Whoa. You say my mother is returning. Oh, so it does stop at all the new ones. Okay. You say my mother is returning soon. It should be perfectly fine, don't you think? And what if? Oh, fuck my head, my chest out there. And what if she lies? She wouldn't do that. Oh, no, it's all just old dialogue now. Okay, so this added in that one line. Okay. Sever a fate. Oh, I'm guessing if I choose sever her fate here, I won't do the thing with the like blood bath. Okay. Her water is a deep, dark red. Her slender fingers dipped into the liquid as if she were entranced. One layer at a time. Okay, wait a second. No, let's sever her fate, right? One layer at a time, she stripped bare, her expression hollowing, lifeless. Lilica watched the naked body step into the crimson water. No, I clicked sever her fate. What the fuck? Oh! That's different. That wasn't there last time. Kind of hot though, not gonna lie. Then again, well, yeah, it's hot, but then again, yeah. Anyway, there's not the forum for that. You can hear me now, can't you? Why not just end it? You're scared. You're so terrified. You came here. Yeah, I can't speak. Let me try again. You're so terrified. You came here to see your friend, and look at what's happened to you. Amelie. Yeah, Amelie. Amelie, where'd you go? Where are you, Amelie? I want to see you. Shut up! You don't deserve to speak her name. You don't deserve to be in her presence. Why don't you just give up? Just sink down into the abyss. Isn't it inviting? Sink. Right. I should. Isn't the water so warm and inviting? That's right. Just sink down into it. Then you'll finally be able to rest. Amelie. You! Okay, I fucking like that scene. And not because of the picture or whatever, but that's just really convincing. Like, it shows just how much Sophie does care for Amelie, even though they haven't actually seen each other much. And it sort of shows, like, really well Lillica's possessiveness over Amelie. So she's gone to the point where she's like, I mean, sure, like, there's other ones where she just murdered her, but she's like, I don't know, somehow it's different the fact she's trying to convince someone to sort of kill themselves. And she's not outright murdering them. I don't know if that's me being fucking stupid as fuck, but yeah. Let's skip ahead again. Okay, so only option now is to destroy her fate. Okay. Yada yada yada. Okay. I know I could skip ahead, but I don't want to just in case. Like, it sounds stupid, but fuck it. Good night, Amelie. Sleep well. Tomorrow everything will be better. Lillica stepped out of the bedroom, shut the door softly behind her. Okay, so I mean this time she didn't say anything against, like, being a lesbian. So I don't know if that determines anything. The hall was still dark, with only a few candles to light her descent. It was quiet. Everything was quiet. The eyes that followed Lillica wherever she went were closed. The voices that crept up from between the floorboards were silent. Somehow, they only made Lillica more uncomfortable. But that didn't matter. Not now. She knew where she was going, and what she must do. She inched closer and closer to that door. The door that held behind her sickness named Sophia. It was closed tight. Lillica raised her hand, almost as if to knock, but instead pushed it open and entered. Just as the hallway was dark, so was the guest bedroom. The lantern had been blown out only a short while ago. No sound came from the bed. All was still. Lillica crept closer, closer and closer, until she stood over the bed, like a shadow. The woman underneath her kept her eyes shut tight. Her face was calm and serene. Lillica couldn't help but smile as her hand wrapped around her fragile, pale neck. Her fingers dug into Sophia's flesh, so soft and easily bruised. Still, she didn't even shift. For some reason that made Lillica even more furious. But as the young woman named Sophia laid as still as a statue, her mind wandered back to another that had once done the same in this very house. A young woman who had left Amelie in Lillica's care, who not only wanted the best for her daughter, had only wanted for her to be happy. The problem is, she'll leave. That's the problem, isn't it, my lady? The cold fingers slowly unwound from Sophia's throat. That she'll leave and take Amelie away. But if she stays, then won't Amelie be happy? She'll be so happy, always, forever. And then maybe you can... Lillica withdrew from the room in a rush, her feet carrying her faster than ever before. Through the hall and up the stairs, and into Amelie's bedroom once again. The bed was warm and inviting. Oh god. Lillica enveloped herself in that heat, wrapping her arms around Amelie tightly. Lillica? Do you want Sophia to stay here forever? What? She will leave if we don't do anything about it. She'll leave and you'll never hear from her again. That's not true, Lillica. She wouldn't just do that. My dear Amelie, I spoke to her just a moment ago. She was already packing up her bags. At that, Amelie rubbed at her eyes and sat up. It can't be true. Go check for yourself. Amelie, not wasting even a single moment, walked towards her door and peered down. From here the moon was shining in through the stained glass just right, illuminating the hallway below. In the distance a shadow could be seen moving. Lilica smiled. See? Lilica picked up a toy doll that still sat on Amelie's bed. A relic from the past. Her straw-coloured hair almost seemed to stand on end. Don't you want to keep it here? Don't you want her to be like this doll? Keep her here? Right. Your own special doll who will never leave you. Don't worry. I'll make it happen. Just for you. I'll make sure you're happy forever. Go down the hall to my room behind the bookcase. Wait for me. Amelie's eyes had glazed over, as if she wasn't truly there. She stood from the bed and picked up a small black case that rested on a nightstand before leaving the room. Oh fuck, we got the song this time! Fuck yeah! It wasn't long afterwards that Lilica followed in her footsteps, just in time to see Sophia ascending the staircase. She walked straight past Lilica, who was smiling happily, and approached Amelie's door. As she knocked, the door fell open with a groan. Amelie? Amelie, are you in here? Amelie's been waiting for you. From somewhere within the darkness, a fragile melody filled the air. Almost instantly, Sophia turned towards the sound and began to follow. Lilica sped up enough to walk beside her. Isn't this great? You like Amelie, don't you? Don't you want to make her happy? She would be ecstatic for you to stay forever. So why don't we help her to be happy forever? She offered no answer. They entered the room together. In the centre of the room, surrounded by candles, Amelie sat. Her skirt fanned out around her. Spread out over the floor were piles of letters. Upon closer inspection, each was filled with words that had been crossed out and signed with, yours, Marion. Amelie, Amelie, are you awake? Her eyes were shut tight, yet her hands moved enough to play the sorrowful tune. Please, listen to me, Amelie. Lilica is... She isn't... I'm not what? You're going to leave her, aren't you? Lilica shut the door, dragging the heavy lock across. In response, Sophia rushed backwards and tried the handle to no avail. Amelie's eyes finally opened. In place of the usual golden eyes was a glare of deep red. Amelie, please, snap back. Oh god damn, I fucking skipped that. Let me just... Okay, I can't go back. You want to take her away? Amelie, please. One at a time, Lilica blew out the candles on the floor. The room was plunged into darkness. Amelie fell forward, her body exhausted. It's nice to meet you, Sophia. I'm sure we're going to have a fun time living together. Since you'll be staying with us after all, right? Okay, we've got a little bit extra this time. I'm just going to have a quick drink. The final title. Okay, I'm ready. Fuck yeah. Lilica, could you pass the sugar? Of course, Amelie. With a smile, Lilica pushed the sugar across the table towards Amelie. She picked up the teaspoon and dumped a single cube of sugar into her tea. Would you like one, Lilica? No, thank you. Just being around you makes my tea sweet enough. And you, Sophia? You're awfully quiet today. I'll give you one. Next to Amelie sat Sophia. Perfect and pristine. To Amelie's eyes, at least. But Lilica saw the truth. Her face was convulsed and pulsated, and her eyes bulged from what was once her head. The shape of Sophia was gone, and its place was a mound of a person who used to be. Lilica smiled. You know, she likes sugar in her tea. There's no need to ask. You're right. I'm so happy. Sophia, Lilica, fuck. You are both so important to me. Thank you for being by my side. Anytime. Isn't that right, Sophia? From now on, it's just the three of us. Okay, so that was a depressing ending as well, actually. They're all depressing. I fucking love the thing with the music. That's different. Is this really okay? What about the future? Should you try again? Elise, what do you think? I want to get your opinion before I click anything. Because, what the fuck? So you can see in here, basically, this, like, I'm trying to think how best put it. It says, what about the future? Is it worth trying again? I guess it's right, the answer, but also, yeah, I'm gonna go yeah. Okay. So that's all the endings. I've done all the endings. I don't know what the fuck this is. The room was dark. Amelie had long gone to bed, leaving Sophia alone in her room. She tucked her head under the cover and pulled out her phone. Still dead. Oh yeah, the phone. I forgot about the phone. I mean, yeah. Yeah, it'll probably be a secret ending. Sophia clutched it to her chest. What do I do? What exactly is going on here? Sophia's body stiffened up. Her back was to the door, but her mind screamed not to turn around. Footsteps crept closer, closer and closer, until... Stay away from me! Ah! Sophia threw her bedding at the approaching person, jumped to her feet, ready to run. But the person she saw collapse to the ground was not the person she was expecting. Oh my gosh, Amelie, I'm so sorry. Sophia knelt down, quickly helping the brown-haired girl to her feet. It's quite alright. I didn't mean to scare you. I apologise. No, it's my fault. I'm too jumpy. I'm glad you're here. I'm really glad you're here. Ow. Sophia's arms draped over Amelie's shoulders, and she pulled her in tight. Amelie paused for a moment before she melted into the embrace. I need another drink, goddammit. Sorry, my like throat got a bit fucking caught up. I don't know. Full, I guess. I don't know. I'm here. But is everything all right? No, I don't think everything is all right. What could be the matter? Amelie, my phone died as soon as my cab approached the house. Do you see? She pulled out her phone, showing the black screen. What exactly is that? My mobile. Amelie picked it up curiously, turning it in her hands. You've never seen a phone? What is it used for? For texting, making calls, playing games, those kind of things? Amazing. Amelie, what year is it? What year? Why do you ask? Please. 1665, of course. I fucking knew it! Fuck yeah. I mean, it's pretty much confirmed at this point anyway, but fuck yeah, I knew it. I'm right. Booyah. Sophia took a step back from Amelie. What is it? Amelie, this makes no sense. Lilica, this house? You? Amelie, it's 2021. What? Sophie, that's preposterous. Oh my god. She fell back into the bed. Her legs not being able... her legs not able to hold her up any longer. Oh my god, Amelie, you're not joking. You're really... Are you feeling unwell? Maybe you need to get some rest after all. Fuck. Amelie, please, listen to me. Out there, the world has changed. We have phones, cars, computers. You don't need a husband. You don't need permission to buy a house. You can go to school, get a job, do whatever you want. I know I probably sound crazy to you right now, but please, please, I'm telling you the truth. You're trying to tell me that nearly 400 years has passed, and I've been stuck here? How would that even be possible? I don't know. Amelie, please, how long have you been writing to each other? Well, I don't know. It's been 5 years. I need to find Lilica. She'll know what's going on here. No, wait. You can't ask Lilica. Why not? I can't see Lilica, Amelie. I haven't seen her once. But she's been here from the start. I've only seen you in this house, Amelie. Something is going on within this house that's kept you stuck here. And I think she's the one that's done it to you. And that can't be true. Then why don't we find out together? How? Their master bedroom. Lilica was the one who said you couldn't enter it, wasn't she? Please. Sophia reached her hand out carefully. Amelie stared at it, unsure, before deciding to take it. I don't understand what's going on, but I trust you. Let's go. I'm liking this ending more already. Fuck yeah. Dumbass lesbians working together to survive a haunted house. Fuck yeah. That's my genre. The horror was still dark, with no signs of Lilica anywhere. If she appears, then tell me, okay? Okay. Hand in hand, the two walked quickly through the hall and up the staircase, where they stood in front of the master bedroom, side by side. The hands was ready. No matter what's in here, I'll be by your side, okay? Amelie offered no words, instead just squeezing Sophia's hand gently. And at that, Sophia pushed the door open. Just like the rest of the house, the room was dark and quiet. Only the moon shining in from the dirty window guided the two in. It smelled musty, as if they were in a tomb only just uncovered, not a bedroom. They crept closer and closer to the bed, and are surrounded completely by the canopy, keeping whatever was inside hidden. With her shaky hand, Sophia reached towards the light velvet. At once, the truth came into view. Amelie gasped and almost fell to her knees, but Sophia's hand kept her steady. I'm sorry, Amelie, but they left. They left only a few weeks ago. It looks like they've been gone a very long time. Amelie, I know it's hard to believe. I find it just as hard to believe as you do. Please, we have to leave this house now, before Lilica finds us. She knew. I think that you've been bound to this house by her. We need to find a way to leave. Okay. It only got halfway down the stairs when Amelia grounded to a halt. Sophia turned to look at her, her eyes wide in surprise, only to see that Amelie's expression was one of immense fear. Lilica, what are you two doing out of bed? Lilica, So you went in there. She nodded upstairs. You lied to me, only to keep you happy. Happiness with lies as the foundation isn't true happiness. And why not? We've been perfectly happy here for longer than you've even existed, and you come along and I'm sorry, Lilica. I'm sorry, Amelie. I'm so sorry. Lilica burst into tears, wiping her eyes with her sleeve in a desperate attempt to stop them from overflowing. Lilica. Wait, Amelie, don't. Amelie took a step towards Lilica and said to comfort her. Please don't leave, Amelie. Can we stay here together? Amelie, she's been lying to you. She wants to keep you trapped here. Please. But, please. Amelie. Sophia pulled on Amelie's sleeve, forcing her to turn to face her. Amelie's eyes were filled with confusion. I know you two have been together for a long time. I know. I can't even compete with that, but I want to give you the life you deserve. You deserve to be free, to live, to experience everything you've missed out on. Not be stuck in time here forever. And the truth is, no. Oh! I thought it was going to just fade to black, just leave it on a cliffhanger, but no, I fucking like this. Okay. Whatever words were keeping Whatever words would keep coming next were lost before they were ever spoken, as Sophia leant forward and placed a gentle kiss against Amelie's lips. I'm really sorry how that terribly came out, but yeah. The cries from below extinguished in an instant as Lilica watched it on in horror. But just for a moment, the rest of the world melted away, and all that existed were the two of them, Amelie and Sophia. Amelie kissed her eyes. Amelie closed her eyes. The sensation was new and foreign, yet not unwanted. Butterflies were let loose in both of their stomachs. Where they connected, heat spread throughout their bodies. And then Sophia pulled away. That's a good persuasion tactic. Kissing someone. The truth is, Amelie, I've liked you for a very long time. And even if you don't like me back, I want to help you. I want to help you live again. Amelie, don't listen to her. Okay. A deceptive smile came to Sophia's lips. She had no time to dwell on the fuck, nor her confession that would usually make her feel so nervous she'd be sick. All she had time for was to escape. Her eyes went down the hall, when an enraged Lilica stood in their path. The windows were bolted down, unable to be opened. There was nowhere at all to escape. That is, except... Do you trust me? I do. Sophia didn't need any more of a confirmation. With Amelie in hand, she turned, ran, and jumped. Oh, I like that. The glass shards of the two girls hit it hard. They fell, surrounded by shards until they hit the ground below. The moon shone from high above, shielded away by the storm that never seemed to end. Amelie, are you okay? Yes, I think so. Sophia rushed to Amelie's side, quickly helping her to sit up. Side by side, they looked up at the remains of the stained glass window. Lilica stood, completely still. I can see her. I'm so sorry, Lilica, but... Lilica just shook her head. She grasped at her throat with her hand, and her lips moved, but no sound came out. Giving up, she just looked back at Amelie, holding eye contact. Her expression wasn't angry anymore. It was just sad. She lifted her hand and waved, a slow and small motion, before she crumpled the dust on the wind. It stopped. Lilica. It seems it wasn't you bound to the house by her, but the other way around. What am I going to do now? Amelie, you're free. You can do whatever you wish. Sophia, exhausted, once again wrapped her arms around Amelie, who returned the gesture almost immediately. There they embraced under the now free moon. I can't even fucking disagree about the part because, like, yeah, it's sad for Lilica, but also, she so deserves it. Like, I don't know. Fuck, it's complicated. It's complicated. It's almost as if morals can be grey and not completely black and white. Oh my god. Like, yeah, she done bad things, but also it was I don't know if it's for good reason, but I can understand why she did it. And like, she's sort of trapped in it, if that makes sense. Even though it wasn't exactly the mother making her do it, it was more she did it for the love of the mother, and I guess that love made her do it. But I don't know. In this manner, in the middle of a field, far out in the countryside, a curse was broken. A young woman prayed. What her future held was uncertain. After all, the future never is. But she made a decision on that fateful night, to trust in the future, to trust in herself, no matter what. Yeah! Woo! We love a happy ending where there's actually hope and shit. I'm gonna let like the credits play and stuff, because like, I don't know, it's a really good story. I think they deserve it. And also I like, I don't know, that picture just works really well. That one too. I think it's the happiest ending you could get. Like Lilica, no, I think you see it in every ending, no matter what, she's always hyper focused on like trapping Amelie to make her happy. And I don't think there's any other way her story could have ended. Like, it's like, I know this whole thing, like, the right can do whatever they want, they could make happy, but I think there would have been no other effective way for the story to end. Oh, there's more. Okay. Oh my gosh, she's at university now. Oh no, that's Sophia. Okay. I'm Amelie. I'm back from my class. Sophia, quick, come here. Is something the matter? No, look. Amelie held up her phone screen to Sophia, who just laughed in response. You got a 5-star character on the game you like. Isn't it amazing? All I do is insert the numbers on that card you give. The feature truly is astounding. We'll talk about it later. Oh, what's this? I'm not sure. It was slipped under the door while you were out. A plain white envelope sat on the coffee table. Nothing on it identified who sent it or who it was addressed to. Oh no. With little concern, Sophia opened it and pulled out a letter. But the words may as well have been a different language, as she could not read them. Her eyes went straight to the bottom of the page. Yours, Lilica. Fuck off, please, no. Oh! Okay. I'm just gonna ignore any part of it. But yeah, like the game was really good. And the whole thing, like Lilica, the happy ending is when she dies. Well, she didn't die, but I think that's the happiest ending she could get, because I don't know, like, but the other ones, like, not only is she so focused on like keeping Amelie trapped there to keep her happy, she also seems to be like pretty much obsessed with the lady of the house, and to the point like where she sort of hero worships her, and she believes that if she is not completely successful, then she has failed the lady and that she's no longer worthy of the lady. Like, she's paranoid about it, like with the thing with the eyes and the breaking glass. Because like breaking glass, and I was like, and yeah, it's also like it's split between like sort of the fact that she is trapped in the house, and so her reality is the house and dependent upon Amelie. And there's also a case where it's meant to symbolise the fact that, in a more metaphorical sense, that is her world, and she has nothing else in her life, and a way when she failed, so I didn't. Well, yeah, like yeah, but I'm focusing on the symbolic shit. I get the rules of the universe and stuff, yeah, but also like the shit, like I think she wasn't like, I know, like, you know, like, yeah, she had a choice, she could have just let them go, but also both with the rules of the universe and also like I know it's that whole thing with determinism, like people are shaped by the decisions they made previously, and you argue that there's much of a choice in what people do. If you take that part, then she never had any choice, because she had no other option than to literally go and trap Amelie. I don't think she even cares much about Amelie herself. She only cares for Amelie as a proxy for the lady. If she believes she takes care of Amelie and like keeps her trapped and happy, then the lady will be happy with her, and that's how she gets love. And I find that so compelling. Lilica, I don't like her. I like on a personal level, I don't like her. Even if she's fictional, but I don't like her as a person. But as a concept and as a character, I believe she's amazing. It was a great fucking story. I don't regret buying that in the slightest. I'm really happy with that purchase. I never heard of it before, but I feel so more people should talk about it because it's a really good game. And yeah, I'm like it's like this and We Know the Devil. They're two games that I'm probably going to tell everyone that I meet that comes in conversation. Obviously, they are really good games, and I would recommend them. And also the thing with again, like the whole thing with Lilica still being alive. That is interesting as well. I guess that's not necessarily sort of a bit of a cliffhanger. Like if they do ever do a sequel or something, like because I'll bring it in. I don't know, but I guess it's also a thing where like I don't know, because Lilica was trapped and it looks though there's no way of it out, but now I guess she found, no, not say she's found, but like eventually was able to make her own way, and like that's a good message. Double check something else. Sure thing. Yeah, all the endings. We done it. And I don't tend to rate games or review games. I'm gonna say that's a really good one. If you have a few pounds spare, like both you, Ellies, and anyone else watching this, like in the future, have any money spare, I would encourage you to buy it and just try it out. Like, it's really good. I mean, it might be a case with some of the spoilers, like because you've seen it. I don't know if that sort of ruins it or like reduces the enjoyment, but I would still recommend it because it's really good. I enjoyed it. The character design, Lilica's, I don't like the puff thing. I know it looks weird with how it covers part of her face. Other than that, though, I believe the characters look great. They're all distinctive, especially like Sophia, because when you see Sophia enter, you immediately get a sense of something is different here. Like there's something off-putting about it. But the game, I'd fucking love it. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can really say about the game. The sound design, I love that, especially the song that like plays during the endings where like Amelie's playing a song. That's fucking great. I love that. Anything else about the game? There's like symbolism. I like the stained glass window. I was finding it a bit weird how they focus on that so much every so often. But I like in the final scene it all comes together. And also realise with the breaking glass and then the stained glass window's broken after you jump through. That's really good. It's a really fucking good game. I love it. I just keep coming back to it. It's just really fun good. I love it. Like this, like there's some games where like the writing, I enjoy it so much. Like there's all these connections, symbolism. I enjoy it so much that it just helps me keep enjoying games in general. And like, sure, there's like some games like Call of Duty or the ones where the writing doesn't matter as much. I get that, but there's games where the writing just hits so well that it keeps me hoping that games are gonna like there's gonna be more games that just do that. Like Amelie, We Know the Devil, and Red Dead Redemption 2. These are my favorite games because of how good the writing is. Because like how the themes are used, like the symbolism found in the games, how they are tied together, stuff like that. I love them. And like I never played We Know the Devil on this channel. I probably will one day because I love it. But one thing I love about the game is how it uses vagueness, both in world building and in, like in the actual action of the characters. But it improves the story. Because I'm not gonna go into details, but basically, you'll have like characters mention them casually if it's just completely normal, but it's something like not only is it odd, it's beyond the average of our world. And it just creates a sense of otherworldness and also like estrangement, like not only like between us and the world, but us and the characters. And I don't know, that just really works well for me. I enjoy that. But I'm gonna try and stop myself now before I just rant about like Amelie and We Know Devil for ages because I fucking love them. I'm just gonna put it on the stream ending soon thing, just while I'm talking. But yeah, that's really good. I love it. I'm gonna keep the music on in the background though. I like that. It's a nice relaxing thing. Now my first stream back, and I was thinking recently, what am I gonna do if I want to keep things different, you know? And I realized what I'm gonna do at the end of every stream is do a book/short story recommendation, one of the two, depending how things go. And I also realized I actually fucking need to think of a story then, and I was thinking over it too, and like which one do I think would be best? And there's a lot of contenders. I want to go for one that like has moderate success. It's not a too big name though, and that's The Hatching by Ezekiel Boone. Now this it's not a story for arachnophobes. I'm gonna say that right now. If you're scared of spiders, don't fucking read it. But again, I'm not gonna try not to spoil it. Basically, it's sort of a mixture of spider attacks and like contagion and like international diseases, because basically there's like hordes of spiders which operate completely different to any other spiders, and they basically like start popping up into places in the world and start killing loads of people. And it definitely, rather than tie it all up, they do push it towards more sequel baiting, if that makes sense. And I like that, because I think if they did try and finish it all, or at least most of it in one story, it wouldn't have worked well. It's like in The Hatching, it's just the initial stages as it grows and becomes more prominent. I haven't read the sequel yet, but I really enjoy The Hatching. The characters are interesting, they're fun. The writing is a bit shit. No, not shit, but just a bit rough at the edge, if that makes sense. And a bit odd, if that makes sense. There are some odd decisions by the writer, but overall I enjoy the story. I recommend it. It's not like going to be blowing you away with amazingness, but it's a fun read. And if you want an idea of how successful it is, Impact to me, I have like 4 or 5 spiders living in my bathroom, and I'm always a bit scared going in there now because I thought that they could do that. So that's how good it is, if that makes sense. The recommendation for this stream is The Hatching by Ezekiel Boone. I'll try and do one with every stream. Usually it'll be a book or maybe a short story or magazine, something like that, if that makes sense. Just because, it's different. I enjoy reading. I like to share my recommendation with other people, but I keep forgetting I should bring up a normal conversation, so this is how I do it. So I think that's everything. Thank you everyone who's came to watch my first stream back. Thank you everyone who's going to watch it as a recording. I really hope you enjoy it. It's gone on for much longer than I thought it would. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Just, wow, nearly 3.5 hours. I really enjoyed it. What I'm going to try and do is sort of 2 or 3 a week. Probably Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Saturday, depending on how things go. Something like that. So, hopefully, my next stream will be Wednesday. I'm going to try and play Moonlighter, which I think is really good. I haven't played it, but it looks really good. Thank you, Elise. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Oh, hi, Gerald. Sorry, how long have you been watching for? I'm sorry if you missed out most of the game. I'm really sorry. It's really fucking good. And I'm so sorry you missed a bunch of it. I think you might join a bit late, but if you want, you can go back, watch the stream as a recording later on. It's really fucking good. Even better, buy it yourself and play it because it's so fucking good. But anyway, I'm going to stop there. I hope everyone watching this live has a good night, and everyone watching this recording later on has a good day. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye.